Holy banana coaster, we are live. Welcome to the Chain Dogs podcast, where we talk about everything theme park. Someone mute McCall.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, welcome to the Chain Dogs podcast, where we talk about everything theme parks, amusement parks, and coaster news from all around the world. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. If you are listening to this on podcast form, then just to let you know that we do this every Wednesday at 8 p.m. UK time on the Chain Dogs podcast YouTube channel. Come and join us, get involved in the chat. How are we all doing, everyone? We good?
Good.
Good
to be back.
Good
to be back.
Yes.
Cheers, everyone.
You've been missed, mate. You've been missed.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see who's in the chat. We have Joe. How are we doing? We have Chris. We have Gemma. We have Neil. We have Lloyd. We have that ginger one. Ginger one, what is your name? Does anyone know what his name is? I don't remember his name.
It's just not Carl. It's a thing now.
It's not Carl.
Not Carl.
We have Tom. We have Mark. We have Chris. We have Carl. We have Kira. We have lots of people. Lola's in.
She's got
Lola.
There's no
how are we doing?
it.
So yeah, this episode is going to be all about going for our top 10s, which we've never done before.
Ooh.
We've never ever done it, so we thought we're going to do it. So we've got a bit of a light news. It's quite light on news this week, anyway. In terms of there's some big news topics, but not like the last 3 weeks. So
it's been kind of light, but there's so much other stuff going on as well.
Subtlety in news, I would say.
It's been a light news week, but it's not been a light week. Jesus.
Claire said that your hair is looking fresh.
I washed it.
Yeah.
No one mentions my hair. I mean, come on. Fuck's sake.
Just don't be so harsh on yourself, mate.
Conditions
beard. Yeah, let's get straight into the news, right? So, obviously, yesterday, everyone's timelines on socials was all to do with the world of Jumanji. So, the world of Jumanji is a brand new area coming to Chessington World of Adventures. It has technically four attractions. The three main attractions being Mandrill Mayhem, the new B&M shuttle wing launch coaster, which always just seems weird to say.
Strange ride.
We'll get onto that. Then Ostrich Stampeder, which is an SBF Feezer super jumper, and Mamba Strike, which is a top dancer, which basically is a Miami. So, so there we have it.
When you say technically four attractions, what do you mean?
Basically, the Jumanji board in the middle is being listed
backwards
as kind of like an attraction because it's going to be like a maze, kind of like Gardaland.
Okay.
I've got a bit of a maze, but that's got walls around of it. They're opening it this year.
Okay.
So when all the foliage is finally all put in, it's
Jumanji Labyrinth.
Yeah. Because if you saw like the actual one in Gardaland is called Jumanji Labyrinth. That's literally what it's called.
Wait, is it?
Yeah, literally called that. Yeah. But yeah, because if you look on any of the videos or the photos, there's so many speakers around that area. It's going to be like all custom like sound effects and
cool.
on all the foliage and stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say I did notice a lot of speakers.
Yeah, that's going to add to like the jungle vibe in there. So that's like listed attraction sort of
ambient sound
going around. Yeah, which is pretty cool because it just will mean it's like surround sound, won't it? Because you'll have all different stuff going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they had a construction tour that me and Joe was kindly invited to. It was amazing to be in that into that site. And yeah, John Burton took us around and just did talks. I'm sure a lot of people have seen the vlogs and all the photos and that. But yeah, it was just like it. I'm actually really excited about it now. Because I don't know, there's just a lot more going into the detail, like of the buildings and the theming wise than I originally thought. I don't know what anyone else's thoughts are. Feel free to be honest, because I know some people are like, it seems like half and half, really.
Well, some thoughts on that whole discourse online as well. But I mean, like what I will say about the theming level, especially in the station for Mandrill Mayhem, and the attention to detail on the train itself, was pleasantly surprised by it, by what's going on. Yeah, with the station and the train, like with the all the corrugated metal panels, like making up the station wall.
Yeah. You get a feel for what they're going for now, because from the outside at the minute you can't really tell that much, and there's still bits going on that. But when I was inside it, I was like, "This actually looked really cool with all the trees coming through it." And you could really see what they were going for,
like all the vines on the ceiling as well, on the ceilings as well.
And
like, was really cool.
I don't think the pictures of the videos can do it justice to just how big that station is. It's huge.
It's a wing coaster station. It's got
it needs to be.
But it's like, it's just even that though. Like even some of the other wing coaster stations. I mean, most of them are, but like I think like Avalon, for example, it has like the ceiling just isn't as tall on it. If you know what I mean. And I think when you've got like a really high ceiling, it just makes like such a massive difference to how big it feels.
I noticed with the station there seemed to be a lot of show lighting.
Yeah,
as well. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
Yeah,
the dispatch
sequence using probably.
That.
It was just the main lights on, like the work lights on when we went in there.
That's got
because you had the pendant lights, and then there was just two massive racks of show lighting either side. Which looks really
two rigs on each side.
I hope it's going to be like Jumanji drums, and then all the show light sequence, and then you're off.
Yeah, it'll look really good. I like that. I like that sign that says "Warning Mandrills" on it. That's a cool sign. Like, I'm just wondering where that's going to go in the station, and then like the handprint cutouts on each side of the front and the back of the station walls as well. It's a funny little detail.
It is,
and then with the train, I only just realized from these pictures that Attraction Source shared that the wings are actually like mandrill arms as well.
It's got
I don't know if that was apparent like beforehand or like from early, but I didn't realize that until I saw these pictures. That's a really cool thing. So when the heads get put on each car, it's gonna legit look like, the top half of a mandrill on each car.
Yeah, it's not like it's holding the seats.
Yeah. I didn't notice that at first. It looks really cool. And then someone else, I think it was I don't know his full name, but Matt on Twitter pointed out that the seat backs look like bananas as well. So it looks like that. And the reason why I laughed at the top of the podcast is like it reminded me of that. It's gonna look like the mandrills are holding bananas.
Yeah, and I'm sure
it's just funny.
I'm sure it's something we've said on here that we looked at it when it was first we first saw the trains going. They look like bananas. I can't remember if it was in like just joking or someone actually.
I think it was a passing comment in the chat.
Was it a passing comment? Yeah,
I think so.
Like bananas.
It's funny how that's like just happened. And none of us got that from the concept. We were all like, "Oh, it's just going to be a monkey with a red ass." Like,
everyone lost their shit over the lack of a red ass on the train.
Yeah,
it was just like,
that's why they turned the back train the opposite way.
Do you know what? You're probably right. Right.
John. Well, what we heard is that like the main reason there is a back row is because just from off ride it looks better if you're coming into the park and you're seeing it coming back towards you. There's a mandrill on the front, so either side is a mandrill. Like, it just looks more like aesthetically.
What a load of shit! It's because of the red ass. We'll
go with that.
I'm not having that.
Well, no one could make the mind up in the meeting, so we're just like, we'll just turn it around. Like, there we go.
Everyone liked the Swan, brave it backwards. So yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting how they put what they're going to do queue wise, because that's not something. This is the thing, right? So everyone, after you've been watching this, I haven't done it yet because I've just been so busy. But Attraction Source has put up an interview with John. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch yet. So there might be but yeah, has it been announced yet how they're going to manage that second? Has anyone brought that up yet? The back rows, they're going to be a separate gate for it? Is it just going to be like you get put randomly?
I've not heard anything personally, so I don't know. Attraction Source, do you know in the chat? Because you've had the interview. Let us know.
It's something I wish I'd asked, but
interesting
I
to
just
see.
didn't have enough chance.
Yeah, I just hope that I hope that the theming level in like for this, at the very least, this part of the ride is like it runs consistent within the rest of the area, because obviously the area is unfinished. Like obviously, like it goes without saying, but there's not really much else to go on like throughout the rest of the area at the moment. There's still like when's the May 15th, was it?
Yeah.
Like they've still got like 2.5 months like before the area opens. We'll see what else gets included, because like it seems like the theming level here is being set for this coaster, and then the rest of the area, there isn't, like I said, there isn't much to go up. There's kind of
it's one of them
else to be left to be desired.
It's one of them where you need to kind of like, it's hard in pictures to imagine things, but when you're in the area and someone's saying like over there is going to be this and that's there, like you can actually get like a really good eye for like, oh, okay, I can imagine it. And I think in photos it's probably quite hard to see that, because it was just like when we was getting taken around, like we said, there's just so much more like foliage to go in. I think at the minute they just put things in just so they could get like an idea for like the height of where things are going to be for view lines.
Right.
Placeholders.
Yeah, placeholders just to put all that in, and then like loads more will go in. I mean, if you see any of the videos, there's just like diggers everywhere still. They're still doing landscaping.
Of course, yeah.
And yeah, it was just like just seeing the detailing that was going into the buildings. I don't know if you saw the floor in the station, but like that just looked like it was really nice. I mean, the thing is, the last big area we've had in the UK with Merlin was brand new land anyway, was Mythica, and that was like that took theme into another level in the UK, along with Portland's Park. I absolutely loved. I love Mythica, and I just felt like this is again taking it up higher. And then like the way in front of the station, the fact that they've put all these buildings in to make it look like you're going down a little street, like a bazaar, like a little marketplace. That's just like, I love things like that when it's like a little, like small little pathways to go into.
Straight out of Animal Kingdom. John Bell of Disney, don't he? So,
but it works, you know. In Fantasia Land, you get little passages,
more of it. Yeah,
and Animal Kingdom. The reason why I have high expectations for the theming level, just out of Chessington in general, is because the one time I went, Animal Kingdom is the vibe. I got from it.
For sure.
Like,
for sure, 100%.
From multiple areas, especially I can't remember the name, but the one with the disco coaster in there, the chair swinger, the other. I can't remember the name of the area, but it was literally like this is. This mix.
What is the area
like
called where Culber is?
I cannot remember. I can't remember the name. Wild Asia. That sounds like it.
Yeah,
Wild Asia.
Yeah,
okay. I'm telling you.
Hey, Joe.
It's not a question. That's my favorite area around there, and it's really underutilized in my opinion. You go in there and there's like hardly anything. There's not that. There's obviously they've got Cobra there, they've got the wave swinger, but it just feels like there could be so much done in that. You could fit a coaster in there alone.
It's a nice hub. It's a nice little hub because the rest of Chessington.
There's where your intermittent quad should go.
Yeah.
But no, it was just for me. It got me very excited for it now, because the one thing I was saying all along was like, if they're gonna make a jungle themed area, Jumanji, it needs to look like a jungle, and the size of some of these bamboo trees, they were like, you know, we're talking like pandas, 15 hopefully. And I don't know if anyone saw it in the video, but it was like it was confirmed that the truck that's tipped over is Ripsaw's old op cabin, which was crazy for me because I saw that thing a year ago in the backstage of Alton Towers, and I was like, oh, what are they using that for? Is it going to be for like Nemesis or something? And then it's obviously been confirmed that they were getting it ready to ship it over to Chessington.
That's cool.
I love things like that though, how you know, them little, it's like the parrot in Mutiny Bay. The talking parrot is from Thorpe, isn't it? It used to be outside the 4D cinema when they had the pirate show there.
Yes.
So there's things like that where other parks have got like different things from the others, and I like them little hidden things.
Yeah.
But no,
love a good Easter egg.
I'm looking forward to it. Again, I think I share the same thought about most people. Was like, is a shuttle coaster the right move for Chessington?
Yeah,
probably not.
No,
it needs something
capacity wise.
Straight up, just no.
Capacity wise,
it's a strange decision. It really is.
It was a strange decision, and I think, I wonder because obviously John did say like they've solved the capacity issue, and I don't know if there must have been like a previous iteration of it or something, but also I think something that stuck out to me was the fact that when the train comes back in the station, it doesn't like do like a swing break, like it doesn't go up into the
that surprised me that it's stopping pretty much in the station.
I don't know if oh, go on, Emma. Sorry,
just saying that alone will save a decent portion of time rather than kind of coming halfway back up the spike to kind of roll back in slowly. The kind of you're going to save at least 20-30 seconds there, aren't you, with just the way it breaks?
Definitely, yeah. And it parks pretty quick as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. And people are saying it breaks really hard, but I thought it looked really smooth.
Shockwave breaks really hard, guys. That breaks hard. This is not Shockwave.
No, Shockwave hits a brick wall.
Yeah,
they build a brick wall every time they dispatch it quickly.
What I will say about that is those tests that we saw were literally B&M commissioning the ride, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So like, it's not like the ride has been handed over to the park for them to do their test cycles and stuff. So whether or not it's actually gonna break and park like that when the ride is in operation remains to be seen. Like, if like it would make sense if that is how they will run it to mitigate, to take a few seconds off of it parking and stuff.
That would be a good 30 seconds.
Yeah,
taking off it. So I don't know. I think it would probably be a good move to do it that way. I just
to everyone who was thinking that it's a sharp break or like or whatever. Like they're going to be testing. They're going to be with LSM launches. They're testing out different launch sequences, braking sequences. The like how much the power they want to use is capable of, like what it's capable of doing with a winged train, which winged trains are heavy as shit. So like they'll be testing out a bunch of different things. It might have been an e-stop procedure, that they were testing out.
So I don't know. I think it was when we was watching it, it was nice to just hear B&M roar going around that area. That was just insane for Chessington. And the sound of it, LSM in that station was just like, I'm in Chessington right now. What is going on? But like from looking off ride, like obviously I don't think the Helix is going to be it's still going to be weird feeling, but I don't know, man. I was just reminding myself. I was like, as this for someone's first coaster is going to be pretty cool. Like, especially if they theme it all well. So it's not going to be the most thrilling thing in the world. And my perspective on it is, people say, well, they should have just got like a Fakoma model. Why invest in like a massive B&M thing for this short little track? I'm like, at the end of the day, everyone knows B&M, like we said before, reliable. They'll be able to run this thing in December if they want. They'll be able to run it at their Christmas events. Like there's not many other manufacturers that are that reliable to be able to run in cold weather. So that's my thinking of it, why they've gone down that route. That, and they've probably had a multi
they got a multi-deal.
Definitely got a multi-deal, I think.
100%.
But I'm not complaining if they're gonna use B&M.
Well, we speculated that like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah,
pretty much. We were like, they've definitely got a multi-deal with these two wing coasters going up, and then we were like, it's going to be a B&M. It's like the whole joke me and you had, that it's going to be a B&M. Like,
and Nemesis retrack as well. That's probably been thrown in there. There's been probably quite a lot,
Yeah.
So that's probably
are we
what
running
I think
Merlin?
behind the scenes.
Yeah, imagine. We're not. Disclaimer: we're not.
Can email you my bank details if you want.
Yeah.
So
pay me royalties.
Shane Dogs Defo said it first. Yes, Matt.
But yeah, there we go. Let's move on because we've been 20 minutes on that. But yeah, I'm like I say, May the 15th it's going to open. So that's definite now. So yeah.
Try and be there. Definitely. Nice. Just one thing. I think it's going to be a really fun coaster. Like everyone's going, oh, it's it's this, it's that. Female's not that. It's like, shut up. It's going to be a fun ride. Like you get a bunch of you on that ride. It's going to be so fucking fun.
Mate, it goes fast in that station. Like I was so surprised at how fast it went.
Am I buzzing that it's a B&M shuttle coaster? No, but it looks like a fun time. The whole area looks
it'll be a fun little thing. Yeah,
kids will love it. Families will love it, and thrill seekers will love it as well. There'll be something in it for you, definitely.
I was saying this to Joe like the other day. In the car, and I was like, I don't know why, but like shuttle coasters and anything with like a swing launch as well just kind of annoy me for no apparent reason. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Like, there's something about it where I'm just like, can we just not go forward all the way?
Yeah. I was literally testing a Mac that I'm building in No Limits today, and I was like, I just threw a spike on it just for a laugh to test it. It's like, throw a spike on it. Everyone's throwing spikes on things. Why not? Let's try it.
Like, don't get me wrong, they're always like, they are fun. I've only really done Icebreaker really with that kind of layout.
Same.
But like, I don't know, I'm just kind of like, in a way, is there something in my head going, no, I just want to go. Can we just go?
Can we just go forward? Like, just launch us faster and like.
But yeah, quicker. I don't know. I don't know if I like I don't know if I like the trajectory in a lot of places going. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm really looking forward to doing Titatis, but at the same time, I'm just kind of like, is everyone just going to be doing this to save on like steel costs?
It's the new RMC, isn't it? The spike, like it's. I genuinely think it is the new thing of from this year.
I haven't looked into it much since like we were closer to the outside of the pandemic years and stuff. But in terms of just like you mentioned steel costs, or just like shipping costs of shipping steel around the world and stuff. Like it did skyrocket, like fucking crazy. Like, so, I mean, who's to say parks aren't still feeling the effects of that in terms of new additions and stuff. But like, I don't know if that effect has subsided much since like steel price of steel went through the fucking roof.
It seems to be, Mikhail,
like a year or so ago.
Thing. Yeah, it's a European thing more than an American thing. Yes, Pantheon does have a spike. Icebreaker has a spike. But look at all these new coasters that are popping up in Europe with spikes.
But those and also those coasters were, those plans were put in, and those coasters were planned since before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, like I'm in two minds about it because I kind of feel like with the swing launches, the spikes, the like backwards inclusion on coasters and stuff like that, I feel like it's just not being utilized the best way it can yet. No. Because like you look at something like Pantheon, the layout is like it uses a spike to increase the ride time and obviously to save a bit of money on steel costs as well. But like the rest of the layout is pretty short. Like,
I think you just hit the nail on the head there by saying increasing ride time. I think parks are looking at people going, oh, because if it just goes forward, that's a short ride. But if you go backwards and forward 4 times,
and I mean,
it's an extra minute.
And I mean, we can do spoiler alerts on this as well. Like spoiler alert, if anyone doesn't want to know anything about Dark Coaster, then Busch Gardens Williamsburg's new ride, like that, it doesn't have a spike, it doesn't go backwards or anything, but it has a way of just basically doubling the ride time with a short layout.
Oh yeah, I know about this. Yeah, because someone did an NL2 of it. Showed it.
So
are we thinking
like, that's kind of the deal with what I guess that is something that parks have tried to utilize in order to save themselves some money on actual steel fabrication and, you know, all the rest of it and stuff. I just don't think it's been used to its fullest potential, I guess, in an instance. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Cool. Moving on.
Move on.
So, Liseberg, Luna has been testing.
Yes.
Speaking of spikes, there you go.
This is on a mountain. It makes more sense.
Yeah. So this is the first picture we got of the trains in
the trains.
The trains look so good, don't they? They have no business looking that sleek.
Like, there's something so satisfying
about an observatory as well.
Yeah. They're almost, there's something like cosmic rewindy about them.
Yeah,
what
there
it is.
It really is. Now you mention that, especially not the zero car, but the one behind it. The actual cars do look like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say even the zero car as well. Like it's a bit pointier, but
a bit pointier. But no, I love the design of it. But I'll just throw up the testing.
Yeah, you want to talk about shuttle coasters going fast?
Yeah.
And what's surprising me even more with this test, is it's empty.
Yeah.
And it's going that quick.
Shout out to Theme Park Science.
Thank you, Theme Park Science, for delivering the science.
Yeah. I don't know if this is their video.
It fucking flies on this forward run, man.
Watch this.
Airtime.
Yeah. It looks
great,
man.
Yeah, that forward run is
that little dip as well into the spike.
Yeah,
looks like it's gonna have some good airtime on the back of that.
Yeah, that front row is gonna be fun going up that spike as well.
Shout out to the emergency service.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, that's the sound of Gotham.
It's actually Gotham City. It's not Gothenburg.
But yeah, so I mean, I've already spoken about this, but obviously the European Coaster Club, they're doing an event there. We're going to be some of the first.
Yeah,
on this.
We're going to be on it.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
And on the coaster.
On the coaster, yeah. So yeah, it's for camera.
Feeling that.
Vekoma Family Boomerang, 110 foot. And it's situated in like the highest point of Liseberg, which is Liseberg Hill, and obviously it interacts with Helix, Liseberg Bannen, and the log flume. So it's just going to be, it's going to make it feel even faster when you're just flying past all this track, and then the stunning views you obviously get in Liseberg as well. It's going to be great. I think this is going to be.
Cannot wait.
I wanted to know what direction the train, the layout's facing when it's going forward, because which is it facing Gothenburg or is it facing the other way?
It's to me, it looks like it's going down the hill, right?
Going down the hill. That Helix goes.
Someone correct us if we're wrong, but to me, that's the way it looks.
I couldn't tell.
There's a if you go into RCDB, there's like a kind of an aerial photo of the whole thing. I'll see if I can throw that up actually. But yeah, I think it's just really interesting, and I can't wait to. Obviously, the other rides opened up last year, didn't they? In that area, Luna Park.
Yeah.
And so obviously it's to celebrate their centennial year. And I just think it's a really cool way of doing it. Really, I just love the whole.
I can't wait.
What would he call it? It's kind of steampunky-ish, isn't it? Like it's
the whole area
mixed with like kind of old school,
like a fantasy steampunk.
Yeah,
like you've got different things going on, and I think Luna's going to be the kinetic energy that's moving through the area all the time. But yeah, it looks cool. I mean, look at that! It's next to the launch. I didn't realize it was next to the second launch.
So that's
so you're going to see that from the pathway as well. Wow, cool. So it's going to, and just quickly, it's going to go against. So when it's going forwards, it's going to go against Helix's launch. So you might get an interaction, and then if it's going backwards, you might get an interaction. So you'd be going backwards, but Helix would be going forward. What the hell? That'd be well weird. And that little popper there looks great.
Yeah, but it just looks cool, man. I'm looking forward to going on the log flume, to be honest, because the log flume, it looks like you get a lot of
that log flume's
that drop looks insane.
To be mental.
There's so
the other thing I just saw in one of the pictures in the background was their water park. If you go go one photo the other way. That giant building in the background.
Oh yeah.
You went past it.
Oh right, I was just like, well, there's a little. Oh that. Right, yeah.
That's their water park.
That's crazy.
That's fucking huge.
Paddington.
Huge.
Huge.
But no, very looking forward to that. What's everyone saying in the chat? At least a big ECC party is going to be good.
Yeah.
Log Flume goes on forever.
James said getting turned at least. Turn up, baby.
It's gonna be fun. Fun.
So there we go. There we have it. So next up, we have some, kind of, I don't know, it's kind of saddish news, surprising news. So to do with IMAscore. So Andrea Kubler is, I think I got that right. I did check the pronunciation. That's what it said. Kubler.
It'd be like Chase Hessel.
Isn't it Andreas?
Andreas Kubler.
That's what I said, wasn't it?
You said Andrea.
Oh,
Andrea Kubler.
I was like, is that his wife or something?
Andrea. I mean, could be a boy's name as well.
It could be a hidden, way of saying it.
But yeah, so he obviously one of the key founders of IMAscore has announced that he is leaving IMAscore. But I think we were saying in the chat, like, he's pretty much a composer in his own right now.
Yeah.
Like, he does a lot of stuff under his own name for films and all sorts of stuff.
And if you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, like, his stuff is phenomenal. Like, it's so good. It's amazing. And I imagine it's stuff that he's got built inside that he's not been able to do for like he's probably done something for a park and he's gone, you know what, I can sing to that, and he actually sings along with it. And he's an actual proper artist and an orchestra. And, oh man, it's amazing.
I mean, just the nature of having a business as big as IMAscore, they built it up from like 3 of them to now it's like a huge company. I doubt he has like he was creative director, I think, when he so he probably oversees projects, but they've got probably loads of composers that are dealing with these projects day to day. So I don't think he will change IMAscore.
No, it won't change IMAscore, but I'm excited to see what he does next. It's only a good thing. Because a new IMAscore will come along from this, like a new IMAscore S. There'll be competition in the market. It'll make IMAscore better. It'll make whatever Andreas does better. So it's going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of movement as well with staff, I'd imagine. There'll be people probably going over with him. There'll be people going back. I
don't see that happening.
Really? I do.
I don't think he's going to go start doing like his own theme park stuff. I think he'll just be full-on composer for films and stuff. In my opinion, that's what I think he'll end up doing.
Andreas, let us know in the chat if you're watching.
I think people IMAscore have that, like they have that market, like 100%. Like obviously there are other companies and composers who do other things, but
who do fantastic work as well.
Yeah, but I think the amount of work the amount of work there is in theme parks constantly, like it needs to be a company who like oversees all that stuff, and then I think IMAscore have probably got that all done. But I think with him, obviously we're just like spitballing here.
Oh yeah, we're speculating completely.
I think he'll be like, it's like someone goes, that's a Hans Zimmer soundtrack. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Hans Zimmer composed that film.
Yeah.
Because it's a soundtrack. I think it will be more like that because they've been doing more and more like film scoring. IMAscore.
Yeah, they have lots of trailers, lots of film, lots of adverts as well. Big adverts like for big car companies and stuff like that. You would have heard of IMAscore at some point in your life. Like there's no getting away from it.
Yeah.
So,
but there we go. So next up, this kind of come out of nowhere. So Vekoma are getting Poland are getting yet another Vekoma.
New pack thing, yeah. What are they doing?
A whole pack of Vekomas.
Yes.
It's the answer to Europa Park. It's Poland's answer to Europa Park. That's using Vekomas.
So Hasso Land, which is a brand new theme park that's getting built in the northwest of Poland. Yeah, they well, first of all, this is the coaster that got everyone very excited. We'll come back to this.
Whoa.
But Hasso Land is currently
Exodus look shit.
Hasso Land broke ground last year. And yeah,
Did it really?
This is, yeah.
Wow.
So it's full on. It's in full swing of getting construction and stuff now. There's a lot going on there.
Wow.
So this is like the entrance place. There's going to be 4 themed lands. One's a fishing town, something to do with mermaids. We've got Amber Kingdom, and we have Land of Vikings, which I'm guessing is this one.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then, actually, to be fair, that could be Dragon Valley, because that might be Dragon Valley, because that's another land as well.
But the swords, like if they're real, if they're going to do them, they're cool. I love them.
I'm just happy it's got a rapids. Can he be?
Yeah, more rapids in the world, more water rides. Let's stop killing off water rides.
Yeah. Legit. Next week we're going to do an episode on water rides. So we're going to.
Whoa!
I wanted to do that this week, but then I forgot that we was meant to be doing this. But I think we should talk about water rides next week. But yeah, so it looks really good. So basically, there's going to be 50 attractions as well. This is the first phase of it. Is going to be open with 50 attractions, as well as 11 restaurants, 6 cafes,
it's going to be a big fucking park then.
So some of the companies that are behind it is Mac Next, Duravision, Attitude SRL, and Whitewater West.
Sorry, I thought for a second you said Eurovision then. Eurovision theme park, what?
Yes, please.
Extravagant theme park.
Yeah. Actually,
accompanied by Graham Norton narration throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
In Poland, Chris. It's going to be in Poland. Other side of Poland, Venezuelandia, quite a way away. You couldn't.
Yeah, I just had
it up in the north of the country.
North Poland,
That we've been talking about London Resort for so long, and Poland are just like, fuck it, another park. Why not?
Hasso Land it's called, and it's been the company is Hasso Group, and they already operate several shopping malls in northwestern Poland. And the park's managing director is Daniel Henst, who most recently helped build an indoor theme park called Mandoria in Poland as well. And if you go look at pictures of that, like it's indoors, it's like on a smaller scale, but the theming of it is like so well done. It looks really nice. So it's like
scaling his creativity basically.
Yeah, this is full on happening. It's already under construction. There's loads of stuff going. If you go onto their YouTube channel, you'll find it. You'll find videos that they've posted.
I remember this being announced, but I haven't heard anything about it since then. I remember reading some things, but
Mikhail, I think we had a Coaster Gen show episode where it was like a new park's being built, and we're like, okay. And now it's like this Vekoma. Just pull that Vekoma back up on screen. That is ridiculous.
So this is the thing that got us very excited. Well, it's like,
that is
a double 0 G roll.
Oh, there's a dragon in the air in the clouds. That's cool.
It looks fucking sick,
man. Looks mega.
Yeah.
That climb looks like it shouldn't exist.
Yeah,
that's so weird.
So you got this like massive launch. This launch looks flipping insane.
It looks
over the river, through the rock,
shit.
past
up to that top hat, and then that turn drop, like that drop itself, and then that goes straight into a double 0 G roll.
I must say, I've had a look at where the site is. It is literally a field. So river. If it's artificial, then amazing. But that might just be concept, and they won't actually include a river.
It's
not.
They could,
but.
If it's on flat land, they have free reign to basically create whatever kind of landscape they want.
That's the thing, like that if they're hoping to open with 50 attractions, Like, I feel like they're gonna go full. I think what they've done is they'll have looked at Energylandia and gone, shit, this works. Like, how many people are visiting Energylandia? Like, it's working. And they're like, well, you know what, we can just build Energylandia, because obviously Energylandia are trying to up their theming game. But then they've got the old part of the park to compete with and go back and do and stuff. But they're like, look, we just do this theming straight off, have everything in mind. You know, it's obviously working. So
imagine though, like,
all they need to,
like you say, sorry, go on.
No, you good. Go ahead.
Okay. Imagine when you think of Energylandia, obviously like it's Park of Two Hearts, but then like imagine how good like Smogsy is and stuff. Just this whole new park is going to be like that from day one. It's going to be like well up here. Like, don't get me wrong, Energylandia is fucking sick, but it's going to be like up there.
It's all right.
All they need to do. They're already halfway on the theming level with having Eurovision doing the concepts and stuff. All they need to do is have Eurovision do the actual fabrication of the theming, like and the landscaping in these areas. And they already have Energylandia beat in terms of theming. Like, just have Eurovision do the fabrication as well instead of cheaping out on the actual building of each area.
I like Smogsy and Abyssus. I think like I'm kind of like, it's good. It's decent, but I also, to me, looks very 2D. Yeah, like it looks very like square. It kind of feels like you know, when like someone starts learning Planet Coaster and all the buildings have like no depth to them. They're just kind of like burp. So it's like it's you need like some slant, you know, sort of a bit of slant in the buildings and stuff like that. So I think if Eurovision are involved in it, they will be doing stuff like that. It feels like, because especially with Abyssus, like Abyssus had so much potential in my opinion, but then there was just like, it just seemed a bit weird, like, because it was kind of half finished when we went there, and like it looks like Abyssus should be over water, doesn't it? It's just like sand in there, over half of it, and it's the water's still not in there, so I don't know what's going on with that.
Well, there has been
a bit like, oh, where's the water?
Yeah.
There has been photos floating around of the disco coaster in Aqualantis that was supposed to have like the decrepit building ruins used as structure to each side of the disco coaster. Yeah, that's being worked on and it's being completed now.
That's good, because that looks so messy.
It literally looked like technical like metal show rigs, like the type of things you see in theaters and stuff. It looked like that. But there's been photos floating around recent work being done on them and they're being completed.
I feel like what they're trying to do is, because obviously it's really not ideal at the minute, where the only entrance to Abyssus is like the long way around, because Sweet Valley's in the way. So exactly. So they've got to get Sweet Valley open, so then you can actually go through them. Because because not many people walk down to the end of Abyssus and you actually can see like where the portal is meant to be, and you're like, actually, this is like a way better way of walking into the area, isn't it? And you walk back and you're like, you can tell this is the way you're meant to enter the land, because it looks a lot more impressive.
Because you're kind of seeing it backwards, aren't you?
When you're going that way. It's just really strange, because you kind of just feel like you see, it's just a weird way of walking into it, but just need to take the time, man, and just build one thing at a time, man. Again, it's like Planet Coaster. There's like 3 guys working on it at the same time. Because that's the thing. Like, if they move too fast, like they're gonna have issues. I think in the future of like things just not planned out very well. But
I think this new park
saying that though, how long has Sweet Valley been taking now?
It has. It's a lot longer.
For like 3 years.
Time that way.
It feels like it should have opened like 2021. It should have opened.
I
originally.
Cannot remember.
I can't remember. And then I heard that it was going to open last year, and then it didn't open.
It was supposed to open. We went the end of August, and it was supposed to open before then, and we went, and it wasn't. And then I have been keeping an eye on Energylandia's socials, and because they've been throwing all sorts of mad deals out at the moment for tickets, and every single comment is always, when's it coming, and they just keep saying soon. They've not got a date.
They might have had a lot of issue, obviously being on the border, sharing the border with a country that is literally underwater. Like they've probably had a lot of issues in that as well. If you imagine, there's probably a lot of building supply issues. Like the UK is suffering from building supplies as well. God knows what it's like over there, really. So maybe that's probably had a bit of an effect on it. But yeah.
Like all the times where like someone would wonder where's Sweet Valley, like why is it not open, and then like photos all surface of the area still looking like unfinished and stuff. So like I'd rather them take the like make sure the area and everything in the area is actually finished.
Don't open it half finished
before it. Like, look how long. Obviously, it's not going to be on the level of Rookburg, but look how long Rookburg took to be finished, and then they opened it. It was absolutely complete.
Yeah,
like
just perfection.
Yeah.
Right.
It just makes me think that Energylandia unlocked a new expansion pack. That's what it felt like.
But yeah, hopefully, I mean, it's like their Wonder World. It just one day it just opened, didn't it? Like that wheel just opened one day, and it was like, oh, it's open now. There was no like big thing. I mean, I think they put a video out or something, but there wasn't like a big opening of it that I saw. But yeah, so there we go. Yeah, so that's it really. So yeah, let's get on to our top tens.
Here we go.
Top tens. Okay,
so
it's time.
Here we go. This has been debated 500 times this week by me.
Yeah. I can tell you my top three is set in stone. Anything underneath that is subject to change with immediate effect.
So we're just going to go ahead and put a trigger warning on this entire conversation.
Trigger warning from this moment on.
We've been discussing this in like our Chain Dogs chat this week, and it's been fucking hilarious. Honest to God.
Especially Emma's like top 10 top 5 UK coasters is breaking. Shocking.
Episode 66. Let's go.
Actually, let's break it. Tell us your top 5, Emma. Go on.
Oh dear.
My UK top 5.
Yeah, your UK top 5.
Are we not starting from 10? Are we not going to like?
No.
This is just separate.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Sean just wants.
Everyone, get ready to tell her how wrong she is.
Okay. Number 1, top UK coaster is Stealth. Allow it.
Fair.
Number 2 is Oblivion. Number 3 is Grand National.
It gets worse. It gets worse.
Number 4
gets rougher. Believe it or not.
Worse. Number 4 is the big one, and number 5 is Nemesis.
Better not be Infusion.
It's Nemesis. In my opinion, that's a solid top 5. Fuck you all that don't like Nash. She's good.
I remember when it used to be good.
It's always good.
Kill
it's the best coaster at Pleasure Beach. So,
what is big one?
I think I still have bruises from doing it once.
Ghost Train
so...
is the best coaster.
Yeah, no. I mean, look, at the end of the day, everyone's entitled to their own top 10.
You do you.
But,
that's just my little UK snippet.
Nash in your top 5 is insane, mate.
Nash being above Nemesis.
That's
kind of what hurt me a little bit. I was like, Nash in front of Nemesis.
When I said it in the chat, I was like, Nash, and then Nemesis. And Sean was like, I feel sick.
Who are you?
Streaming down my
But yeah, there we go.
And that's been Emma's short stint on the podcast. No, I'm joking. I will give you a lot of love for having Stealth as your number one UK coaster though, just because I had forgotten. Like I'd always had it ranked high, but I still remember from when I rode it again in 2021. I had forgotten how good it is. It's fucking incredible. It's so good. It jumped a solid like 20 to 30 spots in my rankings when I did it again.
It's great. It's so good. It's we're lucky to have that in the UK, to be honest. We're very lucky to have it. So who should we start with? Shall we go in order, or like shall we start with me?
We can. Yeah.
Mine trigger. I mean, a lot of people have seen mine on Twitter and stuff. I've moved things around slightly.
Just very quick. Sorry. Just very quickly. Jack said about Emma's top 5. How is Saw not in there? How is Saw the Ride not in there? How do you feel about Saw the Ride?
I love Saw the Ride. I think Saw the Ride's amazing. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I don't find it remotely uncomfortable. I love Saw the Ride, but it's in my
I
top
enjoy
10.
it, but I have had rides where I've come off with a really bad headache.
That's fine.
I like a rough coaster. Can you not tell?
Emma likes it rough.
Craig said never had a top 10. Shut up, Craig. You've got everyone's got top 10.
No, I agree with
everyone
Craig.
has a top 10.
I really had to think about this. Like,
Yeah.
genuinely had to put a lot of energy into this because I just love rides.
That's why.
Yeah, so we all love rides. We all love rides.
We're all here
have
for
top
the
10.
same reason. That's why we're fucking here. That's why we're doing this podcast.
I just love rides, man. I don't know. I
love the rides.
I'm so
Get on them
edgy,
roller
dude.
coasters.
I don't count creds.
Saw,
I just
dude,
like
like-
rides, man. Like,
I just want to
Okay,
go.
who let
Go with
Trump
the flow, dude.
chat?
Bomber's in the chat.
So
All right, Sean, set it off.
I'll start with me. So we're starting from 10 up to 1. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna compare with mine. Go.
So number.
Are we gonna go
10,
bottom 5 first, or are you going straight?
Just 10 to 1. Just do it.
Just 10 to 1.
Just do it.
Okay.
10 to 1. We can
yeah,
discuss
so,
after.
So number 10 is Ofa Kanen at Hansa. Absolutely love that ride. Like as a standalone coaster, it's like not the best thing in the world, but like the whole theatrics of that ride is just absolutely incredible. It's something you have to like. It's something you have to experience to like understand what's so cool about that coaster. And it's just like it's bonkers. And for Gerstlauer, it's still got the Gerstlauer rattle to it, but it's so intense, so intense. I've grayed out a lot. Yeah, it's got a lot of character. And then the end bit, that's all inside as well. Got a whole indoor section inside at the end. Just really, had no idea that was going to be in there. So that's so good. Number 9 is Troy at Toverland, GCI Woody, my favorite Woody by far.
Fucking, I need
So
to go on Troy so bad.
Only number 9.
I need to go on Troy so bad.
Yeah, but like, have you seen what?
Now you know how
the
we
rest.
feel.
Yeah, but
when
the
you
rest.
say
Yeah. Number 8 is Conda. See, Troy and Conda were very close to each other.
Wow.
Conda, I know.
You
Emma
cannot
didn't agree
compare
with this.
Troy and Conda.
I can. It's so
No,
good.
you cannot.
It's 100% one of the best coasters I've done in Europe. Like, it's so good. I just love everything about it. I mean, to be honest, for me, it's that first drop, that second airtime hill is incredible. It does go quite slow. It's a bit of a weird, the non-inverting cobra roll. I hear a lot of
a lot of people say that's a pace breaker on it.
It's a pace breaker, but I kind of like how slow it takes it. I'm not gonna lie. Like at first, I was a bit like, but once you come back down and you pick up the pace again, and then just the end bit in itself is just so it's like so kind of RMC like, where it just snakes along and it really like lifts up. Yeah. Emma had a lot of bruises from it, I think. But that just proves how much airtime is on that thing. Like it's insane. Yeah.
Might be too much.
You did 2 rides on it and you couldn't do any more, could you?
No.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's how crazy how much airtime is on that.
To be fair, I've got like legs like lollipop sticks, so it's my own fault, but it just hurt. It was up there with like RMC airtime pain, you know, like Untamed and shit like that. It hurt.
But I live for that shit. So number 7 is Ride to Happiness, which is again a lot of people disagree because a lot of people have that higher. But look, absolutely love that ride. The only thing with that is I didn't get enough goes on it. I got 3 goes on it, and then it broke down. I've said this before. So just if I had more rides on it and more different goes on it, it'd be different. Number 6 is Shambhala, which is at my number 1 for a very long time. Love Shambhala.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting. No, carry on. You'll find out after. No, you'll find out.
Yeah, Shambhala. for me, a lot of what makes that ride special is not only an amazing coaster. It's just the place it's in. It's just stunning.
Yeah.
And to get a night ride on that as well, it's something else, man. Like,
have you had a sunset ride on it?
Yeah, we when last time we did it, me and Joe did it. It was when they were doing the stagger closing, so the park would shut at like 10. But they'd close all that top area off at 8 p.m. and it was still light. So we got in the queue, we got a sunset ride on it. And then because we had the fast tracks, because we had the deal with the hotels, we just went straight back round and then got another night ride on it.
Nice.
It was just going down. So it was wicked. I love it.
That's how long the ride is. You get sunset to dark.
Yeah.
Before you get the next one.
Number 5 is Velocicoaster. Again, a lot of people. That's their number ones.
Top five. No, I'll take top 5.
Yeah, I'll take top 5 because you've ridden some rides this year and last year.
I always say I expected top 10 from Velocicoaster. So I'll take in anyone's top 5. I'm happy with that.
Velocicoaster, obviously, it speaks for itself. It's an amazing coaster. It just really is. I was a bit underwhelmed when I first did it, just because it was the second half was amazing, but I felt like the first half was just a bit meandering. It just didn't hit for me. But then obviously after I did a night ride, it really shot up there, because when you hit that second launch,
when you don't know where you're going in that paddock, it makes a difference.
It's just having that Taron style launch, you know, but in Islands of Adventure is something else. And then you then when you go at the top, that top hat, great.
I just wish it was as loud as Taron's launch.
Just throw some more speakers in now. Turn it up to 11. Like,
so number 4 is Zadra at Energylandia. Absolutely love that thing. That was the first. I'd done Untamed before that, and that was the first RMC I did. But like Zadra was the first like big boy RMC I'd done, and that's where I was like, "This is what RMC can do." And I was like, "That isn't." Yeah, it was just everything about it is great. Number 3 is this is where my top 3 changed recently, because I had a proper thought about it. So the 3 is Fly at Hasso. So I just love this thing purely for the theming, the whole area. And I think it helps that I got a front row night ride on it. That's where it's at. That's where it got up there. That's where it went from being like in my top 10 to being in my top 5.
Some parallel experience.
It's just insane. It's just one of the best experiences of my life. Number 2 is Ainquazi at Busch Gardens Tampa. Everything I loved about Zadra in Orlando, not in Orlando, in Florida, in Tampa.
I wish it was in Orlando.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. But it's just for me, Gwazi was like everything I loved about Untamed and everything I loved about Zadra I put into one coaster.
Nice.
It's just packed full of like just where Zadra's got like drawn out elements. You know, you feel the speed on it, because it's not just one thing after another. You still feel the speed on Gwazi, but then you just have just element after element after element.
Do the elements feel more rapid fire?
Yeah, Gwazi? To me, 100%.
While still maintaining that sense of speed.
Which
I was gonna ask about this, but yeah.
But yeah, that's it, and that's why I think for not everyone that'd be good. Like I think Emma, I still think you'd prefer Zadra, because it's as crazy as Untamed is, where it's just throwing you like everywhere, and you'd probably get bruised up as well.
To be fair, the only thing about Untamed was just the last couple of bunny hills. Same as on Conda.
The rest of the pillows up your pants or something.
Little bunny hills at the end that just finish my legs off, and I just don't like them.
Just put pillows at your pants and wear shin pads. You'll be fine.
I'm gonna get them. You know them American football pants with
Yeah,
they're gonna be like my theme park pants.
RMC written in marker on them. Like, this is what it's for.
Like Sports Director's got to wear some of that shit, haven't they? Just like some of them.
Hockey
so
pants.
If you see me, just mind your fucking business. I'm
like,
okay?
You see me? No, you didn't. Just another thing about Zadra versus Ainquazi. Do you feel like, in terms of layout direction, because this is having not ridden Gwazi yet, like, just looking at both of their layouts, and obviously Zadra has the advantage with it being ground up as opposed to being a conversion. But in terms of layout direction, do you feel like one of their layouts makes more sense in terms of element progression than the other? Or does it not really factor into the experience for you?
Zardra feels like more of like, it's like you say, it feels like more thought out, like it's an actual like but I don't always want that. Like I also like the feeling of just being like, why is this happening? It, sometimes that makes sense. Like on some coasters, you know, like a well thought out design, but Gwazi is just about pure like aggression, pure speed, and if you like that sort of thing, you'll like Gwazi. But yeah, like definitely that's what I mean with about Zardra being like the elements are drawn out and it's just more thought out. And I can understand that. I can definitely understand that. But anyway, let's carry on because we've got everyone's top 10s to go through.
I was about to say.
Number 1 is Taran. Yes, it went all the way down. It went all the way down my top 10, and then I got back on it in Winterim, and
I called it.
It fucking blew me away. Like, especially after like not that long after doing Velocicoaster, I was like, that launch it's just so intense. And we did a lot of night rides on Velocicoaster. That thing was, you know, it warmed up. It's warmed up as much as it could have, and it just couldn't compete with Taran for me personally. I know objectively,
Taran is statistically quicker than
but objectively, I could see people saying Velocicoaster is the better coaster. It is. But I don't know. Like you can't. I just didn't get the same feeling that I got on Taran, and that's probably something to do with the Clogheim itself and the whole area and the music and all that sort of stuff.
And the fact that was a blizzard.
Yeah, no, we didn't go on it on the blizzard, but we just we did like a few night rides. And
I'd be fucking worried if you went on Velocicoaster in a blizzard. By the way,
no, I meant Taran.
I know you did. I know you did because you were saying you didn't get to have that opportunity on Velocicoaster riding in a blizzard. I'd be worried if you did.
Snow, if snow everywhere in Islands of Adventure. Was sweeping through landing
through Central Florida. I'd probably like being at a theme park would probably be the least of my worries.
Sure.
But yeah, everyone who was on that trip when we was at Winterim will know, like we had that one ride in it, and it was like, just, you know, when you get that one ride in a coaster and you're just like, that is just the best thing I've ever done. And that was like, that was one of them rides we did. And just the fact that like even at night, like it's just that portion of the coaster where it's just pitch black.
Oh, it's mental. It's
just so crazy. Mental. And then you see that red smoke coming out of the second launch, and then the noise of it is just like
it's just turn around that corner and look down and you just see the shadow just go.
It's just so good, man. Like
mega ride.
But Taran's back at number 1. And people might hate that, but it's my top 10, so I don't care.
I respect it. I'm very happy about it.
Allow it, as Emma would say.
Yeah. So, Mikhail, next up, mate.
All right. I'll try and get through mine somewhat quickly. Doubt I will, but let's go. We've got a 40-minute timer.
40 minutes. You got max 40 minutes, Mikhail.
All right. Right. Number 10. Number 10 is El Toro at Six Flags Great Adventure. Nice. I haven't ridden this thing since 2017, I think it is. No, 2018, sorry. 2018. 2018 is the last time I rode it. And it had been like a 2 or 3 year gap. And like everything that I remembered about it, like came back on that ride. And it was like, it hadn't let up at all. That thing is batshit insane. Like it is for a long time. It was my favorite wooden coaster I'd ever done. It's just like it was RMC airtime before RMC got on the scene. Like it's the airtime is crazy, and then a lot of people say like the twister section at the end isn't that good in comparison to the rest of the ride. I love the twister section when it stops with the airtime a little bit and gets like real low to the ground and it's like changing directions and stuff. Like it gets properly mental for me, and I love that. But the airtime is insane as well, and the first drop on it is one of the best in the world for sure. So El Toro. Number 9 is Intimidator 305 at King's Dominion.
Ooh, nice. I didn't even know you'd ridden that. Like I
really?
We've never spoke about that ride. No,
are we not? That's weird. That's very weird. But yeah, like I love and hate this ride just because like it is unquestionably the most intense roller coaster I've ever ridden. Yeah. Unquestionably, like without.
Have you heard Claire's story about it?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. He was talking. She was telling us about it at Giant Manor the other day, and she was like, "It was the scariest experience of my life," because she was like, "I've never blacked out on a coaster, and just to wake up halfway through an intense coaster like Intimidator 305,
she blacked out on the turn."
And she like her breathing was just like she couldn't. Wow, it was on that turn. She said, I think,
it will have been because It's the only coaster that I know of that I know for a fact I've grayed out on. Another one could be Verbolten, like when it gets into the indoor.
Really, Verbolten?
No.
Wow.
There's a helix in the first half of Verbolten when it gets into the show building. It's pitch black. You can't see anything, but that's that same feeling that Intimidator 305 gives me in terms of the feeling, not necessarily not being able to see anything, but the feeling I have in my head and around my eyes. I get it on that helix on Verbolten, but I don't know if I'm graying out or not because I can't see I can't see anything anyway. The whole building is pitch black apart from some lighting effects on that helix. So Intimidator 305 is the only coaster that I know I have grayed out on, and it is on that first turn. Because it's so sustained, even with the reprofiling they did with it, to lift the exit up a bit more. Like it still causes me to gray out on almost every ride I have on it. And then after that, it is just like it's pure speed and positive G-force as you like go through the turns, and then just the whippiness of the changes of direction. It's just a lot. I love it because it's everything I love in a coaster, but it's just not re-rideable. It's not re-rideable. I can only do like three or four rides on it in a row before I'm just like, I need a break. I can't do this anymore.
The only coaster that's happened to me on was Manta, just because of the pretzel loop. It was like that was the first big flying coaster I'd done, and at the bottom of that pretzel loop, like my head felt like I said it before, my head was going to explode. And like we did one straight after because it's walk on. We did one straight after. I was like, that was such a good experience, but I was like, that was too much. Like that was just exactly too much, man. I was like, my whole body felt like heavy, just knackered me out. But no. Mate, you're already your 10 and 9 are ones that me and Joe are hopefully going to do in July. So I'm buzzing. There we go.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
8.
We'll see about El Toro, but So number 8 is the newest addition to my top 10. Well, I say new. It used to be my number 1 coaster, but then I didn't ride it for 12 years.
I know what it is now.
X2.
Woo!
The redemption arc is complete.
I mean, soon to Disney Plus.
It is well. It is well. And speaking of Disney Plus, Mandalorian's out. I need to watch that shit. The redemption arc is well and truly complete. Fucking X2, man. Oh my god. Like
you went into it last week or the week before. You started talking about like how you face and when you drop, and it's just like mega. It's just fucking... It's not for everybody. No,
I'll say that for a fact. It's not for everyone. And like there are some points in it where you really have to be aware of. There you go. There are some parts of it where you really have to be.
That's what Kyle having in that.
Like kind of aware of what's coming, and you do have to brace in some points. And oh man, like it's a trip. Like it is one of those. The what the fuck factor is through the roof, absolutely through the roof. It's like on the same like in the same vein as Ride to Happiness or Iron Gwazi, as you explained and stuff. I still haven't really put this into comparison with other first drops, but it may have it like it might well be the best first drop I have ever done.
Really?
Yeah. At the very least, the craziest.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, you're lying on your back up the lift hill, you turn around and you fucking you're going face. It's already a vertical drop. Like you're facing face down, like through the first half of the drop, and then you get flipped upside down. So you're going upside down part way through the drop, and oh my god, in the front row, it's visual horror. like it's horrifying in the best way possible. And in the back row, dude, the way you just get dragged down that thing, you probably felt on the death roll in Iron Gwazi, you just felt like you were getting dragged to the depth of the earth. Something like that. You feel the same way on the back row of X2 as well. And just, oh man, like I could go on about X2. It is fucking it's fucking insanity. I'll say this much: the BDSM jokes were flying. after like we did like morning ERT on it, we got night rides on it. The jokes were getting vulgar like throughout that weekend.
Yeah,
like, it's an experience for sure. But yeah, that's X2. Number 7, and I don't actually know if you think this is too low or not, but I mean, from 7 onwards, they speak.
I can say we can't tell until we.
From number 7 onwards, they speak to me personally in terms of like what I really fucking prefer above everything else. Taran is number 7 for me.
To be fair, mate, that's way more than I thought it was going to be, because what you've written,
really,
you've done a lot of top tier stuff. So
wow,
that's impressive. That's
Taran will always have a place in my top 10, I think, for a lot of the sentimental reasons as to why it is your number 1 coaster as well. And I did a 25, like there's kind of a sort of tradition that goes on among US enthusiasts on Twitter, at least. They do a 25 days of coasters, like for, you know, leading up to Christmas and stuff in December. And I happened to do it last Christmas, and I had said about Taran when I saw it had opened in 2016, it was one of those. I saw the theming level of Klugheim, and I saw the way it weaves in and out, like through the buildings, and weaves in it like over and under itself. It gets in tunnels, it like all through the rockwork and everything. And I just like the first thing I said was just, I need to go and ride that, like, because it has everything. Like, it's my style of coaster, like in terms of what it offers. Like, it's Maverick on like, it's Maverick Plus in terms of the type of coaster it is. And then it's so intricately interwoven into a themed land of the scale and, you know, intricacies of Klugheim. I need to go see it. Like, so 2 years later I got to, and it was everything that I wanted it to be. And then 3 years after that, I got to go ride it during Wintertraum, and it was everything I wanted it to be again. Dude, you mentioned the second half. Yeah, you know, off the second launch, all like the launch range all lit up red with all the fog and everything. And then once you get out of the second launch, you just get in, like, it's just pitch darkness apart from all the fog. It's just so disorientating once you shoot up into that rockwork, and then you get splashed in the face by the waterfall and shit. and then just the second half, the way the moments hit you, like one after the other, it has that rapid fire feel to it. And especially at night when it's firing, like during Wintertraum, it's just it's everything I look for in a coaster. Like, just the aggression, and then just the visual aspect. And Claire Coaster Claire on Twitter said it best as well. When she did her write-up about Wintertraum, it's such a moody coaster. Yeah, it's got such a character about it. It's just angry.
It's just really angry. It's like a little emo.
It is. It's so.
To be fair, even calling it an emo is not moody enough. It's like demonic, man. It just feels like it's got like a personality to it. It's really hard to explain, really. But
Tyron is a pissed off Bruce Wayne. That's what it is,
basically.
Before you go any further, Mikhail, people are just asking what your coaster count is.
My coaster count? Hang on. 343. 343.
Okay. Nice.
343.
A lot. Big.
Yeah, fair bit. Yeah, so Taron, to be honest, it's top 5 worthy, it's number 1 worthy. Like I completely get why anyone would have it as their top coaster. It is top 5 worthy for me. It deserves to be in my top 5, but this shit's hard to flesh out, and there are others that I just they hit the mark a lot.
Matt, we might do after this whole thing. We might go around. We might go around and do zero coasters if we want to after we've done everything.
Ooh, I've never thought about that.
Could do.
But we need to crack on with the top tens.
So number 6.
Yeah.
Ride to Happiness.
Taking some out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a zero coaster. You're just saying. If you zero coasters in your top 10, then it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like if I was to choose a zero coaster, like the one I would choose isn't in my top 10. So like I mean it is where it's ranked, and it can also be my zero coaster. You'd have to take out your rankings. To my
I'm new to ranking shit.
So
thinking about stuff.
So number 6 is Ride to Happiness. See, like of the 7 that I said, like they really speak to me. This is probably the one that speaks to me the least, but I just can't ignore everything that it includes, because it is it feels weird to even compare this to any other spinning coaster, because it is so far ahead of any other spinning coaster I've ever done that it doesn't even deserve to be compared to any other spinning coaster, in my opinion, because it does it so much better. Like the elements all feel as though they were designed to be enhanced as greatly as possible by the act of rotating through them. Yeah, like you talk about the double inverting dive loop, the other rolls, the fucking the banana roll, the top hat, like they're all really, really solid and really great elements as themselves. And if you just took the entire ride forwards or backwards, it would still be a great coaster, but rotating through them adds that extra what the fuck factor to it. That's the thing, because I only got 3 rides on it, so I don't feel like I got to appreciate it, because the 3 rides I got on it, the whole time I'm like, where the fuck am I on this? Like, I just couldn't tell where I was. I was just like getting dragged from one bit to another, so I needed like a few more rides to be like, okay.
Mate, when we've done a few rides, we were talking about the loop, and Carl was like, "There's a loop."
We always relate back to that. You saying that when we're watching pods of it, because we're thinking about going out there at some point. I was like, remember there's a loop, and it's like, oh my god, there's an actual fucking loop. Like, just watching all the pods in the documentary and stuff. But I remember you guys talking about it. Right, it's
legitimately,
the hidden loop.
If you rotate through that loop, you might as well just be doing
loop as well. It's not a little one.
It's round. It's round for a reason. It's a big track.
Big boy.
On our vlog, when we did it, and like it was you and Cole's and a few of us, second out into that park. Like Cole comes up to Joe and is like, "Do you know you did a loop?" And then Joe was like, "I did a loop? What?"
That might be worse. Sorry.
No, like just the disorientation factor on like each of the elements because of the spinning is crazy in itself. Then you add RMC level airtime to it, as if that wasn't enough. Like the reason why I say like the front car is like one of the best experiences you can have on it, just because going up into the top hat, that is some of the strongest airtime I've felt on any coaster. Like the way it just feels like it's just flinging you to the moon. Like it's fucking, and then like the the double up at the end, if you go through that thing backwards, like it's ejector airtime, and then it feels like just the train is just dragging you backwards as well. So you have like the upward motion, and then the feeling of the train just dragging you backwards. It's a lot.
What's it called? Double invert and dive loop.
Yeah,
just the craziest thing I've ever done.
It's one of the most disorientating. Yeah,
on a spinning coaster, I was like, it feels.
Oh, that's the one just after the second launch, isn't it?
Yeah.
It kind of goes over the entrance. It makes you feel like when you hit that right as well. It was so odd because the way I described it, like that bit was like, I've never felt anything like that before on a coaster because it was like backwards rolling, upwards.
The
amount of videos I've seen.
I was like, it's fucking weird.
They launch forwards into that element and then leave backwards. And I'm like, how the fuck is it just turned 180 in that short amount of time?
It's mental.
It makes no sense.
Also, Ride to Happiness disproves it goes against the notion that Mark can't do powerful launches because both of the launches are punchy as fuck.
Yeah,
like in comparison, me that first one.
It took me by surprise as well.
The genius thing about that was on the first launch where you start, it forces you to spin. Like, that is like such a touch of class on that coaster.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can kind of feel it as you launch off. Yeah. It's the way you hit it, and you can kind of hear it just go boom, and then you just send you.
Yeah. I watched Coaster Bot's vlog he did where they went and did it, and I think it was either his vlog. I think it was his vlog. Or maybe maybe it was Coaster Studio. I watched Coaster Studios and his in the same night, one of them, and they said that we was talking to a maintenance guy, and they were like, "What about the magnets that like Time Traveler have?" And he went, and the maintenance guy apparently went. The maintenance guy apparently went. No, we got rid of them. We got rid of them controlled magnets. No, we got rid of them. I think it might have been Coaster Studios actually.
I think like they had turned them off. They had them on originally, and they turned them off just to see how people would, receive like the degree to like how well it spins, and everyone loves it. So we're just like, we might as well just fucking take them off then.
Yeah. Anyway, number five. Let's go.
So that's number 6. Number 5 is Outlaw Run at Silver Dollar City.
Yeah,
this is a ride that holds, despite the fact that I've only ridden it 5 times, it holds a lot of sentimental value to me just because when I saw it being built, I was just some reason so drawn to it. Like I was so drawn to the fact that it was doing a bunch of things that wooden coasters hadn't been able to do. Like, actual, like we hadn't seen inversions on a wooden coaster since Son of Beast. And we all know how that panned out. So like the fact that the just like the track design looked more just like caught my eye. It looked better to me than traditional wooden track design, and the fact that it could do all of these things, it has a much steeper drop, could go upside down, and it just like it drew me to it a lot, and I had really high expectations. It was one of those I was just like, I need to ride that one day. And when I eventually got out to Silver Dollar City in 2019, I had super high expectations for it, and it blew all of them out of the water. That thing is incredible. It's my type of coaster. I was going to say my type of wooden coaster, just my type of coaster, period. Like the sense of speed and aggression on that thing is so high. And then like, you're flying through the woods. Any coaster that actually does things with purpose, and then you're flying through the wood, like flying through the forest on them, is such an awesome time. And then like the way it fits into Silver Dollar City. One thing that Silver Dollar City does with its roller coasters is that the station is really well themed, and it fits into the whole feel of being just in an 1800s Missouri city, and Outlaw Run is no exception to that. And then like all the other coasters, they go out into the woods. You can't really see any of it. Like while you're in the park itself, you can't really see much of the ride until you're on the ride itself, which I just think is just so super cool. I love Outlaw Run to pieces. I cannot wait to get back on it. I fucking can't wait to get back on that shit.
It's gonna be experience it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be like I do anticipate it leaving my top 5 sometime in the near future, and it's gonna be a sad day when that happens. So yeah, that's Outlaw Run at number 5. Number 4 is one that I didn't see leaving my number 1 spot for a while, and I said this when I did 25 Days of Coasters as well. At Dollywood, it's Lightning Rod at number 4.
That's still quite high.
Yeah. It's Lightning Rod is the coaster that basically made me rethink my entire preferences of coasters. I said this as well. Like it's the one thing that sticks out in my mind when I think of Lightning Rod is it ruined Steel Vengeance for me, because I rode Steel Vengeance before Lightning Rod, thought Steel Vengeance was just pure insanity. Like what the fuck was that?
Mm-hmm.
Then I rode Lightning Rod, and just it's basically I think of it as Steel Vengeance in reverse, because like in terms of like sense of speed and everything, a lot of people say that like Steel Vengeance continues its pacing all the way to the breaks. I disagree. I feel like it dies like about halfway through its second half. After its final inversion, if it were to end there, I would have no issues with it. Yeah. I just feel like it goes on too long. Like it's pacing like pacing is not immortal. Like it has to die at some point.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
And it just goes on a bit too long. Lightning Rod, on the other hand, its elements do hit in the first half, but from like just like the middle portion, like from the off-axis hill, like you can't really see onwards, it really gets going pacing wise, and everything goes just through the roof. Like the off-axis speed hill is incredible in itself. The airtime on it is so bonkers, and then the double up before the quad down, the double up is really strong, and then the quad down is just like bona fide one of the best elements on any coaster in the world. like there's no debate. And it really includes the speed hill after as well. So it's more like a quintuple down. It's more like 5 airtime moments, one after the other, because that I still remember how that speed hill felt after the quad down. It felt like I was crashing a car through a wall. Is how it felt, because it threads itself in between the base of the launch and the start of the brakes as well. So there's structure all around you. So you've just gone through that quad down, which is bonkers, and then you fly through that structure. It feels like a car crash, or it did when I rode it in 2019 before it got its iBox treatment and stuff. And yeah, I'm fucking shitting it for how lesser of an experience that's going to be when I eventually ride it again.
I don't know.
I still think it's going to be awesome.
I think it's going to be awesome because you're still going down. It's physics. You're going at speed. You're going down a couple of hills at the same time. It's going to feel good. It's not going to feel shit.
I think maybe if you're comparing it to what it was when it launched over that first,
that's what I'm going to try. That's what I'm trying not to do.
Yeah. But I think when me and Joe go and ride it, like it'll be fresh to us, and I think we'll be able to enjoy it quite a lot.
Yeah. And a few people who have ridden it like with the iBox treatment say like the first half is what's affected most by it in terms of a lack of pacing or a lack of the elements really hitting, but the second half down the quad down and through that speed hill are still ballistic. like it's still just super high sense of speed and aggression through it, which I am so happy about. So like we'll see. Right. So yeah, that's number 4, Lightning Rod. Number 3 is Fury 325.
Whee!
Oh, nice.
I had forgotten how good Fury 325 is. I had forgotten how good this ride is.
We stripped that ride down when we were talking about it. That was.
Oh my god!
That is like one of the probably one of my biggest bucket list coasters.
For sure. It is the most joyful experience.
Yeah.
I'm so happy every time I ride this ride. Like,
you're making me so fucking.
You're gonna love Fury. Oh my!
I'm
God.
looking at your top 10 because I'm writing it down as we go along, and I'm like, I'm gonna do that.
I've got all these. I've got all these to look at.
It's coming, bitches. It's coming. Yeah,
let's go. It's gonna be fun to see like what your top 10 has turned into like, at the end of this year. Honestly,
it's going to completely change.
But yeah, no. I'm trying to like the reason why just like it has what has for a long time been my favorite first drop on any coaster. And it still might be, I don't know, like between that and X2, it still might be my favorite first drop, just because, you guys have all ridden Shambhala, just that never-ending floating feeling all the way down the drop. It's that, but longer. you just float for longer.
Yeah.
You really never end, and obviously going faster at the bottom of it is crazy. But then, just like. A lot of people say like how it's so different from other B&M hypermodels just because like it doesn't focus on airtime after that. It focuses on sensor speed and aggression, low to the ground elements, and it really does. Like, and I love that about it. Like it feels so much different in nature to every other B&M hyper I've done. Obviously, I've not done another B&M Giga before. I've not done Orion, not done Leviathan, but like those seem to be like more so B&M hypers, just that giga height. This feels so different in nature, and I love it. And I love it so much. Like the one moment through the layout where it has some height on it, the turnaround, like the treble clef turnaround at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Jack raved about it when we had Jack from Thrilling Moments on. Just like the force switching through that element when it goes from strong positives on the climb to just straight up ejector airtime and lats at the same time at the top, and oh man, it's incredible. It's fucking incredible. And night rides on that thing just just go so hard. It just goes so hard.
I showed when me and Joe were like planning this trip we're doing, I showed Joe the treble clef, and she was like, "What?" She was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah,
it's mega."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
100%.
Amazing.
Yeah, incredible.
So we're gonna have to speed it up.
I'm gonna speed this last one. You like I've spoke about these next two coasters at length. You all know how I feel about them. I don't really need to say much more. Number 2 is Zadra.
Nice.
Like you know how I feel about it. It's my favorite RMC. Just like lightning rod sensor speed from start to finish.
I can't wait until you do Quasi. I really want to know what you think, because you'll be able to articulate.
I'm fucking curious about it. Yeah, I'm fucking curious about it as well. I have my what's the like preconceived notions about it in terms of the layout and in terms of element arrangement and progression and stuff. But it's gonna be really interesting to see like how those change after I eventually actually experience it. Hopefully there's not a hurricane on the way.
Or at least they tell you about it before you set off.
Yeah. Yeah, right. So I number 1, we all know what it is. Velocicoaster. It's the best themed thrill coaster experience I have ever had.
Yeah.
Point blank period.
I'm pretty sure that would be your number 1 coaster now as well, anyway. No, number 0 coaster.
Number 0?
Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it's between that and another one, which I'll like if we still want to talk about Zero.
We'll do it.
Later.
Yeah,
but yeah,
we'll do a thing.
Yeah,
so. Nice. That was a solid top 10 there, mate.
Yeah,
that's looks pretty impressive, to be fair.
Yeah,
there we go.
They just.
Yeah, we need to shout the chat out.
I don't think you want to.
No, the chat's gone weird at the moment.
It's weird.
50 Shades of Subterra's going on right now.
Yeah, some kind of fanfic about Phalanx, which I don't.
And Matt.
Is it interesting, Matt? Let's just read because we're going to blast through the top 10.
Yeah,
let's get.
There are loads in there. If you
so
up, there's
CB was saying his is Icon, Nemesis, Swarm, Wickerman, Mumbo Jumbo. Mumbo Jumbo love. I like Mumbo Jumbo.
I can respect it.
I think it's good coaster, to be fair.
It's fun.
Carl, Still Vengeance. I can't believe it's done Still Vengeance.
I know.
You didn't even know what it is.
That just feels so random to me that he's ridden Steel Vengeance. I don't know.
Zardra, Hagrid's Taron, Ride to Happiness. That's good.
That's you got Hagrid's in there. That's
he loves it. Gemma said Taron, Fly, Still Vengeance, Ride to Happiness, Hagrid's. It's so funny that everyone on the same trip has now got Taron as number one again. We got Chris here with Taron again at the number one. Still Vengeance, The Voyage, Diamondback, and Troy.
Diamondback in there, nice.
Marcus, Still Vengeance, Zardra, Maverick, Taron.
Maverick, yeah, there it is.
KO Coasters.
Maverick over Taron is not something I can co-sign, but
go on, Sean. You can do it.
Wickerman, Kukakalane. What is it?
Kukulane.
Kukulane. Yeah, I said the same as James. No one
you said Kukulane.
Kukulane.
Gave it like a weird accent.
Kukulane.
You know, you had like Calalane.
Galileo.
Baron, Icon, and Shockwave. Shockwave, number 5.
Nice. There it is.
I like Shockwave. There's nothing out about Shockwave except for the break.
You have to stop at some point, though, Sean.
The brick wall. Yeah, basically.
But I mean, the friction breaks, right? So they're gonna be just a bit crazy, right? So here we go. Alison, current top 5.
Hi, Alison.
3. Hello, Alison. Fury 325, Hyperion, Taron, Sky Rush. I can't wait to do Sky Rush because that is
Rush. Yeah,
that divides people. That does,
Rush.
doesn't it? That one. Matt, Taron, Ride to Happiness, Shambhala, Condat, Nemesis.
That's changed since he put that. Nemesis has dropped off. He missed Fly.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So I think Fly is replacing Nemesis.
Yeah, okay.
Or like somewhere else in there.
Wow. That ginger one, Nemesis, the Swarm, Big One, Grand Nash, Wickerman.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Somebody with some sense.
Yeah. Joe, Irongrazi, Taron, Velocicoaster, Shambhala, Zardra.
Shambhala above Zadra.
Yeah, it goes to show you, like, you know, me and Joe do all these trips together, and we have a completely
different
bit of a different. Well, not completely, but quite different.
That must make for some sick arguments in your house.
The fridge is just like a war zone.
Magnets how do you organise the magnets? Do you each have a half?
They don't.
We didn't have the magnets yet.
Can you imagine you two in marriage counselling? Fucking
just going through like why we
top 5. Like
we just can't
agree. Over Zadra.
Just makes no sense.
Film it.
Therapist is just sat there like, I don't fucking understand. What are you on about? Why are you arguing?
Are these TV shows or like what?
Anyway, guys, let's go.
Let's go.
Neil said Velocicoaster, Icon, Cosmic Rewind for Nemesis, Mako. Like
Icon high, nice.
Yeah, Icon's good, man.
Yeah, it's a great ride.
You sound like you're trying to convince yourself. It's like
Icons.
No, in my UK lineup, it's 2. It's definitely number 2 for me. Icon is. So yeah, let's go. Anyway, so Luke, let's go. Top 10.
Speaking of Icon, number 10, Icon.
Oh, nice.
There it is.
That was nice.
I just think it's the best ride at Pleasure Beach. It's second best ride. Again, like you, Sean, in the UK. It's a fantastic coaster on its day. At night, it's amazing. I've still not ridden Enzo, believe it or not. But
I've not done Enzo either.
I am going to do it. Like, if it's still available, I am going to do it. But I just liked the whole following the construction in a park that I've been visiting since I was like 5. and that icon being built, and I was like, that's definitely a Mac coaster, and it turned out to be a Mac coaster. It was a really nice feeling. So yeah, icon when I got on it, and to have a Mac multi-launch in this country as well, you can't complain. So
I think people forget how big that was to have a Mac.
Huge.
Like when that got announced and the whole construction of it.
Yeah.
Because like our scope of multi launches is Ride to Happiness and then everything else now. But like at the time,
Helix
that was big. Like that was
Helix
big.
Icon. Yeah. Like that's what they were. Well, Blue Fire Helix Icon. That's what it was. So that's mad.
For sure.
Number 9, which has gone down a hell of a lot, is the Swarm Thought Park.
Oh yeah, because that was a big one for you.
That was big. But obviously I've been out and about now, so it's like I'm free.
In brackets, Florida.
And Germany. But no, the Swarms dropped down to number 9. It was really high up there. But I still love it. It's still in my top 10 because it's still that inverted drop, man. You can't beat it. Like, on any side, the theming, the whole area, what it did for for us in the country, we had somewhere to go and ride a B&M wing coaster. You can't take that away from it. Like it's just nuts. It's mad. But you're gonna get to experience that with Mandrill. So hopefully people feel like that when they get off that. If they've never been on the Swarm, can you imagine like 2 wing coasters like down south? That's cool, man. Like when you think about it. But Swarm's meant. I loved Brave It. I think Brave It backwards for me when I did that, and when the fire was running, and when it was running with the full effects. That's how I rank the Swarm. I don't rank it how it is now. I ranked how my experiences were on it.
I can't wait for one day when you get to go and do Phoenix at Toverland.
Yeah,
that is like.
I love wing coasters. I'm looking forward to this Chesington trip, man. It's gonna be fun, like because I just love wing coasters. B&M wing coasters just offer something coasters don't. Other coasters don't. And it's just that amazing sense of freedom and comfort. I feel for me personally, I know a lot of people.
Love
it. Next up at number 8 is Manta SeaWorld Orlando.
Yeah, nice.
Pretzel loop, simple as that. It's fucking insane.
I had forgotten how good Manta is.
Yeah. The drop,
it's such a good time
to go from Galactica/Air/Galactica to that drop, like a proper B&M.
See, they're the only 2 flying coasters I've done, which Galactica
legit.
and then did Manta, and I was like, shit, like
it's ridiculously different.
just feeling like you're being held up by your chest when you're that high at the top of that lift hill.
So high,
it's so crazy.
You don't realize the inversions you do so high in the air as well.
Yeah.
And the flyby as well of the pathway with the fountains.
I definitely feel like Galactica. I still feel like I get more of a feeling of flying on Galactica.
It's more gliding,
because you're close to the ground and stuff.
Yeah, Manta's just almost it's almost like you're on an express plane. You know,
it's a different type of feeling.
Galactica's like a glider. And like Manta's like a jet plane. That's what it feels like.
Yeah,
it's so much different. The air time's different, but it's there even into the brakes on Manta.
I can't so wait. Much fun. I can't wait not to overshadow or anything. I cannot wait for the day you guys ride Tatsu.
Yeah,
I can't wait for you guys to ride Tatsu.
The orange monster, man, that's cool.
That's all I'll say about Tatsu. But
Manta's
awesome as well, though. Like. And like it doesn't quite like have that feeling of flight as much as Galactica, but just like the feeling of just doing cool shit in the air. That's what I get from Manta.
It's mega.
A lot of
the pacing of the inversions to the overbanks and stuff, and the way you swoop through the layout and stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But same park, number 7, Mako. I loved Mako.
Yes.
I genuinely was really taken back by it. Apart from the trim,
so good.
That's the only reason it's below my next one, which is Shambhala at number 6, because it doesn't trim the fuck out of itself. But but Mako's great. But Shambhala is just I was there for opening. I experienced it when it was brand new. I've experienced it 5 years later. I've experienced it, but I've experienced Shambhala in a lot of different moods and settings, and like you say, Sean, where it is, and whatever you get it in and how it's running on the day. Where you sit on that ride is so the front's so different to the back, and people that say that it doesn't do much, I just don't understand that. Like it's a float machine. You float everywhere, and then you hit the speed hill into the bunny hop into the splashdown. Come on, that's a combination.
That first hill on Shambhala,
it's just ridiculous.
I keep reimagining it, just like that first
hill. The banking though, as you hit the second hill, and how prolonged that airtime is on the second.
No. That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like that first hill after the first drop.
Yeah.
Like you're talking like 6-7
hit that so steep
seconds of just sustained. The purest floating airtime you will feel on any.
Yeah, no, it is, and that's for me. That's where Mako fell short for me.
Yeah,
because
it was faster, but
it's faster, but I think that's a detriment. Like, 'cause I'm like, when I've experienced Shambhala so many times before I've done that, I was like, not only do you get them sustained air times, but then you get that like ejector. Before you go into the splashdown.
Yeah, you do.
Like, it's just like it breaks up nicely, doesn't it? It comes out of nowhere, and you're like, what?
Yeah, and I even like the finale as well. Off the when them brakes don't hit as much as they used to, and you just whip to the left hand side, and you hit a couple bunny hops, and then you're into the brakes. It's a fun ride, no matter where you sit. No matter what you ride.
And every year we've gone back and done it. Like, it's getting more intense as well.
Yeah, you keep it keeps getting more intense.
I feel like that. I mean, I'm not ridden it since
I need to get back over there and ride it.
Yeah, 18, 17, I think was the last time I rode it. Like, I need to get out there.
It's either that or it's just like I forget it, because like you go and do the coasters and then you go back and like in your head you're like, oh, Shambhala is just like nice and like that, but then you get on it and you're actually like,
fuck. You can't experience that anywhere though. I don't think you can experience that intenseness of airtime like anywhere in the UK or Europe.
Especially
I think Shambhala is
2 hour flight away.
Yeah,
you know
Shambhala is just special. Like, because I imagine Silver Star's pretty similar to Mako in how it paces and how it feels.
It's like I'd say Silver Star is like a mix between the both.
Yeah,
Silver Star for me is better than Mako.
Okay. I was gonna say, but I couldn't remember who it was that
for me,
I preferred Silver Star to Mako.
I did think so. I just felt like it was just like it was that trim. It's so fucking unnecessary.
It's fierce.
I'm sorry, I just don't see any need for it. Like, normally trims don't annoy me that much. I'm kind of like, oh, you get a bit of a trim. Like, it's obviously a reason for it. But
I will say,
why do it on the way up? Like, just
do a speed hill into an overbank to a speed hill, and then don't put a big.
It's just badly designed that they had to put on a trim on the.
They had to get it turned back towards the station. Because of that lake, I'd imagine, and the area they had to build in there.
It just pisses me off. And then but I just didn't get. I at least got some sustained airtime on Silver Star. I didn't really get that. For me, Mako was a different style. I've not done enough of them style coasters though. You know, I've not done enough hypers and stuff to really compare. But like, for me, I was like, it's just like it's more ejectory than it is sustained. That's how I got it. But yeah. Anyway, sorry, we've got a fucking.
That's right, man. Number 5 is my 0 as well, which is Nemesis, Alton Towers. That'll always be up there, no matter what. OG, new, whatever it is, it's Nemesis. Number 4, we all know what Nemesis is like. We don't need to go into that. Number 4, Hagrid's. Hagrid's was a shock to the system. I was queuing up for that ride. Like, I need to get on this because of how technical it is, how much fun it's been to watch the construction of it over the years, the land changing from Dueling Dragons to Dragon's Challenge to, Hogsmeade, now Hagrid's with this Intamin motorbike coaster. And I was like, I'm up for this. And then I got on it, hit that first launch. I was like, oh, this thing's got some power. Like, and then you hit the second launch, you're like, yeah, this is good. And then you do all of the other sections, you hit the spike. I know we were talking about spikes before, but you hit that spike and genuinely you lose your stomach on that spike on Hagrid's. It's so much fun, especially at the front. You're so high. That's one of the coasters that does get to the top.
It does have an Intamin feel to it.
It does. It has so much Intamin shape in it.
The Intamin DNA is there.
It's
like,
there. Yeah. It's whippy, it's fun, it's exciting, the music's great, the soundtrack's great, the theming is phenomenal. Like,
yeah,
it's just
it's weird. It's
so
weird
good.
for me because I absolutely love Hagrid's, but like it's almost like I don't like when I rank it, I don't really rank it as a coaster, even though it is like a brilliant coaster. Like I rank it, it's more like
An
a
experience.
dark ride.
Yeah,
outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
how in my head I kind of see it in my head. Like I don't really. It's hard to rank against all these other coasters because it has like a storyline to it. It's just like a really fun ride. So yeah,
good.
Yes, it is good. It is a brilliant coaster.
The station, the way you get on and off the vehicle as well, off the train.
Did you get a front row night ride on it?
Front row Sunset was my first ride.
Oh, okay. Right.
So you can see why.
Yeah. It is a dark ride then.
Yeah. But it's like just when you hit that first launch and you go through the ruins, that it's just special.
That is wicked moment.
It's just special. Number 3 is something. So my top 3 is interesting. Yeah. So number 3 is Fly. Fly is an amazing experience. It's revolutionary way of a flying coaster being done properly. I genuinely think it's so much better than a B&M flying coaster. Just the positioning, the pacing that they can do, the transitions that they can do, the bending of the steel that Vekoma can do compared to B&M in certain aspects of elements. And being able to be upside down next to a bar, next to loads of people watching you. That's something else. And to be in and out of a resort, basically, you're flying in and out of people's rooms and you're going around like different balconies and all this different theming elements.
No way you could weave a B&M flyer in and around that area the way they did with Fly.
No,
there's
not
no
a
way.
Chance. Not a chance. It's too tight. And I liked the positive G's that you got on Fly. Really took me back my first ride, but when we got to the front row, I felt like I was going to end up in someone else's room when I was like on the launch.
That second launch though into that airtime,
ejector airtime on a flyer
off onto the highway. It's insane. It's so crazy. People go, you don't get airtime on inverts or flying coasters. Like ride Fly, Fly. Tell me that it was so good. It was so good. Number 2 is Taron. So obviously you guys know what number 1 is. But number 2 is Taron. It was a very close battle between that and Velocicoaster. Velocicoaster just etched it because I just had so much
in between them at all.
There really is.
It's not.
Like if they were in the same park, I think I'd have a nervous breakdown of what would be better. It's just, I'm just going to put this out there. This was so difficult for me to do. Like I hate ranking rides because I just love them all. But it's just, Velocicoaster just pipped it a little bit with more of because I'm more of a pop culture fan and more of a movies fan and more of an IP fan. I love Jurassic Park. I grew up with Jurassic Park in the 90s, and it's to see it, the raptors, the queue line, the theming elements, the story to it, the paddock at night when I felt like I was going to die and I didn't belong in a chair on that seat on the train. It was just. It didn't want me on that train.
With a bit like you saying about your IPs and stuff and how much you love it. I think that's why I was like, even though it's not in my UK top 5, why I love Saw the Ride so much, because I am obsessed with the Saw films. So the theming tied into, I enjoy the coaster, but the theming just takes it over the edge for me. Like,
it makes a massive difference, and I've said it a million times, but it's like, for me, like Klugheim, to me, I see that as like Elder Scrolls. It's not. When I'm there, especially when it's snowing, I was like, this is what I wanted to. I feel like I'm in a game right now, and like I've said that before. Though I was like, if I was a bigger fan of like Jurassic World and Jurassic Park, I probably would have that higher. But that just goes to show that the theming makes a massive difference, doesn't it? Like,
just putting it out there, Rise of the Resistance is my favorite all-time ride. Nothing will ever be it. It's just incredible. It's not a coaster, but as a ride, because I love Star Wars so much. It just makes you feel
I'm not that big of a fan of it, and it's one of my favorite rides ever.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
It's incredible.
It's just insane.
It's
just,
another level of
feel like
experience.
You're in it.
It's role play. It's not a ride.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, move on.
Amazing.
Look at you putting a top 10 together. I'm so proud of you.
Well, Karen Velocicoaster, man, that was hard to go through.
Okay, Emma, let's go.
Okay, I've got them written down. 2 secs. Right. Number 10, we are starting with Psych Underground at Walibi, Belgium.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go.
Purely because, I mean, there's not a lot to it. It's a shuttle loop. It's forward. It's back. But I think it was the whole package of being on it with all my friends. Well, half of my friends because we had to split. But like the ride out, so like getting everyone clapping and like the music, the little pre-show. I just thought it was fucking wicked. And that launch is snappy as fuck, man. Like it was good. Number 9, Oblivion. Number 8, Stealth. Don't need to go into them. Number 7 is Goliath at Walibi Holland.
Nice.
I was more hyped for Goliath than I was for Untamed when I went to Walibi Holland. It just seemed like my kind of coaster. And I suppose when you compare it to like Conda, I didn't like it. But Goliath, I fucking loved it. It was just, it's got the older seats and restraints on it, and I just preferred it more. Saying that though, we did do the first ride before dinner, and I come off it really sad because I was like, oh God, do you know what? It's a bit rubbish. But then when I got my afternoon ride on it, I was like, I literally, like on the vlog, I come off it and I'm like, yes, that is what I wanted.
I really like Goliath, and some people go, oh well, it's got a boring helix and stuff, but like I thought it was so fun.
I was gonna say it's one I've always been curious about because I've never been able to gauge what I think how I would feel about it, because like you said, like people talking about like the parts of the layout don't look like they couldn't be that interesting, but then so many people speak so highly of it. So I'm very curious to just see how it executes each element.
It's good, and it's got a proper true Stengel dive on that thing, and it's really
and it looks really good off ride as well.
It was that I did that before I did Shambhala, and then me and Joe was going on it going, right, this is the closest we're going to get to Shambhala for a while. It was like, this is the first time we're going to experience that style coaster, you know, that style layout. I really like Goliath. It was really good. That was in the top 10. It was in the top 10 for a long time.
I could have sat on it. I could have sat on it all day. And like I say, it was just that slightly different style of restraint compared to the newer Intamin ones. But I loved it. And that like airtime hill, like, I mean, the drop's wicked, especially when you're at the back, but that airtime hill is so good. And even like say with the helix, I found the helix really forceful. Yeah. And then like little bunny hills at the end weren't too much. I just really liked it. Anyway, number 6 is Hyperion.
Hey, there we go.
I love Hyperion. Like, yes, it rattles, but I noticed the rattle, but it wasn't a problem for me. I prefer it on the wing seat that's like in the middle, and I prefer it towards the back, so it's rougher, but it's so much more fun at the back for me.
You like it rough, don't you?
I do. Moving on.
Just not intense airtime though.
No, I like to be thrown about. No, move on.
You're digging.
Calm down, chat.
Digging.
Move on. Number 5 is Let Coaster at Legendia. That thing is fucking bonkers. I grayed out on every single ride. Like that close to blacking out. Like the first time I rode it, I was like, it might be too intense. Like it might be too much. But no, I just kept riding it, and it just got better and better and better.
So
and like,
good, man.
We took so many POVs of it, and you can just like the ones that are like facing my face. It's the same point as it comes down the first drop and then turns you over. I was like, you just see my arms just go. Like, every single one. And Carl was like, "Ooh, but imagine how good it'd look on the POV if you blacked out." I was like, "I don't want to black out. It's enough." Like,
need to go viral, Emma. Black out.
It was like every single ride, I just kind of went, yay. Like the same spot. It was just like that grey mist and the sparkles and the stars. I was like, oh shit, it's going.
Nice.
Number 4 is Troy at Toverland because it was so good. Like I think we got 10 back-to-back rides on it. It wasn't busy, and it was a case of jumping off, then jumping back in somebody else's seat. And the only reason I stopped at 10 is because I was in agony. Like I'd been riding Untamed the day before, so my thighs were battered, and then riding that, I had the biggest purplest thighs after that weekend. And we also, I don't know whether it's kind of like ruined it for me, but the day we went, they had just run a 24-hour world record attempt for riding, and it had ran 370 something times in 24 hours.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. So that kind of like took it up to dinner time that day, and then obviously they closed the ride at the end of the world record attempt, and we were like, shit, if something's wrong, they're not going to reopen it. But they closed it for an hour just to kind of check it over and stuff like that, and then they carried on sending it, and it was boiling hot, and it was fucking nuts.
So it had warmed up a ton for like
the entire day.
It was absolutely insane. It's the first big GCI that I'd done. I'd only ever done like the smaller ones, and I was like, oh shit. Like, this is what I want from a wooden coaster. Like, it was wild, like mad ejector, painful at some points, but it was just crazy. But now I wonder if I'm going to go back and ride it again, it might not be as good because it's not ran for 24 hours.
Yeah, maybe.
And I'm like, I really want to go, but it might just be a little bit more shit.
It might. I mean, I'll say this: me and Joe rode it, and we were there for 2 days at Toverland because we didn't need 2 days, but we booked 2 days anyway, and we just lapped that thing. And even from when it opened, it was banging. It's so good.
It holds, doesn't it? It fucking moves.
Even when it just opens, it's just so good. And because it's a kids' park, there's never any queues
for
it.
It was maximum like a 5-minute queue all day.
Yeah.
If not, just get off and get back on in somebody else.
Yeah, we literally were just changing seats. If someone was in our row, we'd just be like, okay, we're going to another row, and then just it was so good.
I must have rode near enough every row. It was so good, and it's got a sick soundtrack as well. Like, I don't know if you've ever listened to the soundtrack.
Yeah.
So good.
Because the great thing about Toverland is they sell the CD for each area's soundtrack. It's so good, like in the shops and stuff. Like it's really good. It's I'm a score as well. So
it was well good.
Troy is high on my just bucket list in general, just because like it seems the same way it's laid out, like, is how I feel about Thunderhead at Dollywood as well. Like it just like the overarching just thought I had about Thunderhead is that seems to be exactly what GCI wanted to do with the wooden twister style coaster. And Troy looks the exact same, just the way it paces, like all of its elements, how well it executes them. Like it looks exactly how a wooden twister coaster, the GCI wooden twister, is supposed to ride.
It doesn't let off. It doesn't let off at all. Like I think the first ride I did was with Martin. I don't know if he's in the chat, but we both he'd ridden it before.
He was,
he said that it was a bit rubbish. He found it really sluggish last time, and then we rode it, and we both just, when you sit on the brake run, you just kind of look at each other, you just go, oh.
Yeah.
And we were both just like, and he was like,
me and James on Taron.
But I got that on my first night ride on Taron. It was just like, whoa. When it finishes.
What was that?
Yeah, it's good. And the best thing about it is Troy's had heavy retrack work done, so I can't wait.
I'd love to take the kids to Toverland because there's so much cool stuff in
it. It's just the fact that they've got like a kids adventure park and just loads of cool stuff to do.
There's water everywhere. There's loads of water, loads of salt courses, loads of bridges and cool stuff. When we were inside that indoor area with the log flume, I was like, this is cool as shit. I want to do it all.
It's a brilliant park. Like, it's just really fun park, isn't it?
It was great, especially like in the sunshine. I thought it was wicked. Number 3 is Taron. I do wonder, though, it's been 3 years since I've rode Taron, and it's slowly just gone. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah. And I do wonder whether I went back again, that it might just go woo.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
probably. Like,
sorry, just let me climb back up here.
Yeah. That I rid on in Florida other than Velocicoaster. So I mean that does speak to it.
It's been so long that I've not forgot how good it was, because I remember that first night ride that I shat my pants on that first night ride. That I don't know, it's just been that long that you kind of favour more recent coasters over.
Yeah, it's like recency bias, isn't it? Like that's what happens. And you know, this is exactly what my dilemma was. I'd not done it since 2020, and I'd done everything else. And then we all went back, and there was like me, Joe, Chris, and Gemma. And we all was just like, it had gone down in our rankings and it just shot straight back up again. It was just like, you know, you got to bear in mind, like Chris and Gemma just went on that massive US trip. They went to Cedar Point everywhere, and they were just still like, yep, Taryn's gone straight back up. So I think Wintram is the time to do it though.
Wintram is the best time of the year to go.
I do wonder, without the night rides, where I'd rank it, because when we did it in the day, I do wonder whether I'd overhyped it. Like, I got off it and I was like, it was wicked. But I don't get it. Like, I don't get why everyone's like, this is incredible. And I was a bit slightly deflated.
Yeah.
Because I really enjoyed it, but I was like, it's not like everyone's saying. It wasn't until I did the night ride, so I don't know how I'd feel going back.
I got the same.
This is what I was about to say. Like, I don't know how you guys' daytime Wintertram rides felt. It was firing as hard for me. It was firing just as hard.
The way Emma
explained it in the afternoon, at least.
Yeah, the way Emma explained it then was how I felt when I first came off it. I came off it thinking that's not Taron. Like, that's not Taron. No way.
It's a whole new beast at night. Like I said, when we did
even later in the afternoon,
at night, I shat a brick because I was like, "What is this?"
What, James? We went and rode it probably 2 hours later, and it was completely fucking different. Like completely different. It was just so amazing. Like, just to
number 2 is Ride's Happiness at Plop, because it speaks for itself.
Plop.
It was my number 1 until I went and rode this next coaster. Like, I was like, the way I described it was, I'd felt things on that coaster that I'd never felt before on a ride. And I was like, it moved in a way that I've never been moved before on a coaster. And it made no sense in my head, because I was like, it's just so fucking, it's weird. It is a weird ride, but I think it was literally 3/4 of the way around my first ride when I could see everybody else, and everybody else was And in my head, I was like, holy shit, this is by far a new number 1.
That's one thing that we didn't mention about as well. Just the simple prospect of, like, obviously you're spinning, you get to see everyone else on other cars and stuff. Not only that, but you get to see everyone else, like, in real time, just being like, what the fuck is this? You see everyone else losing their minds as well as you losing yours.
I remember going through the loop.
That's huge.
And seeing Mikey from Scare Track was sat on the car in front. And I remember his face as he came around, and he was just like, what is this? Everybody just had like this look on the face as if to say, holy shit. Like, what is going on? And then that's my number 1 is Zadra. And I did have the same thing with Zadra.
I was sitting here like Ride's Happiness is number 2. What else? Like, what else? What could be number 1? Like, I completely forgot that you wrote Zadra.
To be fair, I was wrestling in my head for a lot of the day, was like, which was better, Hyperion or Zadra? Because the first ride that I'd had in the day, I loved it, but like with Taron, I wasn't blown away by it. And it wasn't until I did a back row night ride that I lost my fucking mind.
Yeah.
I was like, and I got onto the brake run, and I was like, that is what everyone's talking about. And I was like, I was emotional, because I was like, I know that Vix as well, she did the night ride, and she burst into tears on the brake run, because she was just like, that was everything. That was just like peak ride. Like, it could not have got better than that.
Yeah.
And I think as well, because I was sat next to Finlay, and it was his first RMC, and we did it at night, and he was when we did it during the day, he was a little bit frightened, you know, going up the lift hill. He was like, where do I hold on? What do I do? Like, what do I do? But when we did it at night, he was the same as me. Like, he he just loved it, and I think overall, as seen all the lights and everything, you just couldn't beat it. And I was like, okay, that just hits over the top of Ride's Happiness for me.
It is
because of that night ride.
Special at night. Like, there's not much that can compare to it at night, for sure.
But yeah, it's my top 10.
Nice.
Nice. That's a solid top 10.
Very
lovely. Okay, James.
Go on then, James.
Now we get the weakest one, because I've done fuck all parks outside of the UK. Well,
but it's still your top 10.
It's still your top 10, and it means a lot to you.
So just bearing in mind, like 5 to 10, it really isn't a particular order. It's just they're there.
Yeah.
I've rejigged them throughout this show because I've been like, actually, no. So number 10, Icon. It's just a really fun ride.
Yeah,
super fun.
Doesn't blow me away, but it's just a fun ride
at night,
especially with friends. I haven't done nighttime yet, so
you wait until you do it at night. You'll oh my god.
I'll say this.
That's happening this year,
Sean,
by the way.
I prefer it to Copperhead Strike.
Really?
I'll say that. Yeah.
See, like Copperhead Strike looks so similar to me in terms of like comparing them to coasters. But what I like about Copperhead Strike is that it has, I don't know, I like the fact there's a lot of like a lot of hang time in it.
Hang time, yeah.
And I kind of like hang time.
Don't get me wrong. Copperhead Strike is so much fun.
Yeah,
they're both so much fun. Copperhead Strike is an amazing time. I have an amazing time on it all the time. But I just feel like Icon pace is a bit better for me. Like in the second half, Copperhead Strike's pacing just dies a little bit and then picks back up just before it gets into the breaks.
Right, yeah.
It's still a great time though. It's still so much fun.
Icon's second half for me is like where
it paces. Yeah, exactly.
For me, I'm like, I love that second half, like, especially at night when it's like firing down and you're just like thrown everywhere. It's fucking wicked. I just loved it when we was at that PBE night time. I think that was when both you and Luke got that first nighttime go on Icon, and we come off it, and then like you both were just like, that was
so
fucking
good.
Like that was a completely different coaster.
So good.
At night, it's a universal level ride. It really is. It's so good.
I can see that. It is really like I remember you saying that you were like, that coaster just feels so much bigger. It feels like a massive coaster at night, not in terms of height or anything, but just big. It's like a star attraction at night.
Yeah, it felt like a celebrity in the park. Like that's kind of what it felt.
Just how much purpose it rides with at night, and
I can't wait for you to get that, James. You need that. You need that in life.
So coming in at number 9, another launch coaster, Stealth.
Nice.
Number 9.
Nice.
Wow.
I really enjoyed.
Yeah, I kind of think that'd have been higher for you actually.
It's jumped up and down.
Yeah, that's fair.
It packs a punch. It's a really fun ride. It probably could be a zero coaster because I do have a love for it. But other rides have kind of like pushed it down in the rankings. Number 8, though.
Launch, man.
With the Swarm.
Nice.
Really enjoyable ride experience.
It's a good one.
Inverted drop. Packs quite a bit of a punch in some of that turns.
Yeah.
Kind of like obviously longer ride.
More.
Longer ride.
Fair enough.
But also has good moments between kind of like the airtime and then pumps you into quite some of them turns are quite high.
One by the helicopter.
Yeah. So just really fun ride. Only thing that kind of lets it down for me is restraints, but I've said that many times.
Yeah. Pull the finger out. And
just change the vest, please.
Get the new ones back on. Put Brave It Backwards back on.
Coming in at number 7, a fun wooden coaster, Wicker Man.
Ooh.
Yes.
Solid ride.
Rode Wicker Man first time I rode it.
That's a
absolutely loved it. Just the snappy transitions, the theming, the pre-show was like crazy to see. Really enjoyed it.
For
also
the UK,
smell,
the
smells.
I
love it.
It smells really nice in there.
People
I get hungry.
Barbecue. Where you at?
one of the things about Wickerman's Queue is that it's so close to the Burger Kitchen place as well.
Yeah, so you get the wood smoke, and then you get the burger smell. It's just a barbecue.
Yeah.
But
like the thing I think people forget, even though it's only 2018, like people forget like that was the most craziest like experience to have a pre-show that well themed in the UK.
Yeah.
Like it was just unheard of at the time. So yeah, I still love that thing.
Wickerman's mint.
Yeah, Wickerman's just
at night.
Great ride.
Wow. Wickerman at night. That that's another thing.
Well, do you remember oh, I don't think you did it. You didn't do the extra.
No, we missed it.
Yeah,
No.
on Towers Times. That was running so fast that even the ride hosts and the ride hosts were just like, we had to go and do it because we'd never seen it run that fast. They were just like,
they wanted to get on as well. That's funny.
Honestly, it was the fucking. I never experienced that Wickerman like that before. It was because it was such a hot day, weren't it? That day was.
Yeah,
a lot of people. I found a lot of people.
That weekend was
love to shit on Wickerman. Like it's like it. Yeah, it's not matching up to the likes of Troy and Thunderhead and Woden and like those top tier GCIs and stuff. But it's still a really good quality ride experience. Like it's a really fun ride when it's running fast, and it has the ability to do that as well. Like it has the ability to run real quick sometimes.
It was designed to be a family coaster, and it surpasses that family coaster.
I feel like that where they aimed, they accidentally overshot. And
I think they did.
Went a bit intense with it.
Probably something to do with John's alteration.
That
on the drop.
Yeah. Like there are a fair few things like I would change in the layout, like that flat turn. I would have it so it dips, so there's even stronger lats as you go through it instead of it just being a flat turn. But
I love the fact that John Wardley called that the boring bend as well.
Yeah,
boring bend.
The boring bend.
He was like, I want to change the boring bend, but it was a bit too late by that end. At that point. Yeah.
So that's a very UK dominated. First view.
I was gonna say, is that where the UK entries end?
Not quite. So in at number 6, we have Nemesis Inferno.
Oh,
I really enjoyed that ride.
Yeah,
I enjoy that ride. Drop out the station, a lot of fun. When you're on there with a good group of friends, it's a good laugh.
Yeah.
And night rides on that can be absolutely insane because once you go through that tunnel with all the lights.
The mist.
Then there's just nothing.
Yeah.
It's very, very disorientating.
I like it when it leaks out the station, when it leaks out of the tunnel and goes into the helix at the bottom. That's cool. That's really cool.
Again, another one like when it's running well, it's really good. It's not seeing Nemesis.
Some good tight turns does pack a punch in some spots.
Interlocking corkscrews.
Then just above that, at number 5, is Black Mamba.
Whoa,
nice.
Good solid B&M. Did have when I did ride it, all these from now ended up having a ride where I just laughed.
Yeah.
So all these have given me a moment where I just laughed. And
is that because we're looking for the hippos?
No, it's when you get to the brake run and you have no words and all you can do is laugh.
Yeah.
The glowy animals though.
And
the glowy animals are so cute.
Black Mamba, it was actually that night ride.
Yeah, good ride. That was a solid ride.
Because I haven't done front or back row. Because of the way they load it.
Vomit-inducing for me.
The way they load it, I've never managed to get it. But
front row is where it's at for me.
It's a really fun ride. Packs a punch through some of that rock work is insane. I do feel like it could do a little bit more towards the end. It does get a little bit meandery, but and getting that tunnel, that brake run in the tunnel.
Vampire vibe, man.
It's like, where am I? Where am I?
I didn't know what was going on, and the fact that we just went forward instead of doing a turn, I was like, hey.
You thought we were offset. No, we were just.
It was
right
on
in
a
front of us.
holding brake, like somewhere behind everything. We're going to turn in, but no, it's not straight.
That's the thing with Black Mamba. For like, if you're on the front, you get it's the best place to be, because even towards the end where you're just kind of meandering, not really doing anything, you get like all the visuals, and it's just it actually makes it like way better. What was that?
We just had an Aaron part. We just had an Aaron happen.
Decided my mic stand's just fucking decided to go to sleep.
Yeah. All right, next one.
So in at number 4, probably a surprise to a lot of people, Colorado Adventure.
Yeah.
That thing is just insane, and
it's terrifying.
It tried to kill me.
Absolutely terrifying.
Also, I found out recently. So it was closed for a lot of the first day we were there because they were painting the station.
Yeah.
I have some of that paint on my coat.
He does.
I have a brown splotch at the back of my coat. Yeah, so I have a bit of Colorado with me.
Wherever I go.
But yeah, that ride just
back row, wasn't it, that night? Back row.
Stupidly intense. Wherever you are on the ride.
The seats have got zero grip on them.
No, you just slide.
Everywhere.
And yeah, just like the hang that you get if you're towards the front going into that middle section, I think it's just after second lift hill.
Yeah.
Where it dives down is just insane, and
it's
I absolutely love
it. Put it that way.
It is not a kid's coaster.
No way. Like
Colorado, mate.
It shouldn't be that insane.
Fucking stupid ride in the best way possible.
So
Colorado.
We're coming back to the UK.
Oh.
At number 3 is Nemesis.
There we go. There it is.
So there's the OG.
That's what I was waiting for.
So yeah, without saying, insane coaster, and the amount of times it has just given me a moment where I just laugh.
Yeah.
I think what set it apart was going to Scarefest last year.
Yeah.
That day that I got there in the evening and did my first night ride on Nemesis.
Yeah.
And it was just hauling around the track.
Yeah.
Because it was quite warm still at that point in the year.
It was a really
and it's had the entire day to warm up. It was just absolutely hauling. And
I remember the flat spin on that being so intense before the end. Like, and then we that was when I said we got airtime on the turn up to the break run. Do you remember?
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
How the fuck do you get airtime there? Like,
it
was going that quick.
For some reason, yeah, it was just going so quick as it pulled up. It then let off, and you kind of floated a little bit.
I never experienced that on Nemesis. It was running so well last year. Why the hell did I have to take it down? It was running so good.
I think like every time I come off, every time we hit that break run on Nemesis, I'm always laughing, or turn to Joe or whoever I'm with, and we're just like, what?
Yeah.
Every time.
Bam, breaks.
Yeah, it's just crazy. So good. It's short, but it just packs.
Yeah, it's
so
short,
much.
but it's just constantly on the G's, just relentless up until the break run. So
yeah,
that's why it moves its way up. And then at number 2, we are abandoning the UK again.
Oh,
with Taron.
Hey.
Oh, okay.
So Taron is at my number 2. That last night ride we had on it was just absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Like, that thing just wants to kill you. It doesn't want you on it.
No,
especially after the second launch when it does that dive down to the left, and you're still going right.
Yeah,
it's just an insane ride, and absolutely love it. But yeah, similar to you guys, my first ride on it back in the summer, I wasn't blown away instantly. Yeah. It was warm, so it was quicker than what I had on my first ride at Winterarm. But yeah, it was probably the Winterarm rides that just set it apart and just went, okay, this is an insane coaster.
Yeah,
that's where Taron's been hiding.
Yeah,
this time.
Yeah.
And then number 1 probably won't be a surprise to any of you. Has to be Fly. Just
don't blame me.
It's such an amazing experience. The theming, the soundtrack, and just the ride experience itself. Like the whole process. Yes, people moan about the baggage drop and having to do the whole wristband fiasco. I didn't mind it that much. As long as you prepare before you get to it, it's absolutely fine. But yeah, just sitting down on that ride for the first time, and when it dispatched, the music started playing. It was like just goosebumps instantly.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, like when I then kept getting re-rides, got front row.
Yeah.
And that ejector airtime after the
After
second launch is just absolutely insane. And yeah, just interaction with the whole hotel and the area it's just a spectacle, really.
It's just honestly one of the best experiences. Like
such a good experience.
I just remember coming out off that thing and being like, what are the chances that you ever see concept art and it comes to life?
Yeah.
I honestly think
to that degree.
To that degree, I don't think there's still anything I've ever seen concept-wise that's actually come out like and being like, this is exactly what they planned, and they did it.
Yeah,
like,
it's the execution was amazing. Vacoma's like just gone leaps and bounds with the whole technology as well, making the loading experience.
That's one of the most
seamless.
Impressive things about it to me.
It's just seamless unless you're Luke. He kept forgetting to put his legs in.
Oh yeah.
I failed twice, and then I got used to it.
See, I
got shouted at by the ride host multiple times for not putting my legs in the thing.
I think me and Chris knew how it got you into the flying position.
Yeah,
but no one else in our group did. And
yeah, I knew how it did it, but the feeling compared to what you think it's gonna be is just something else.
But no one wanted to know. Everyone was like, "No, don't spoil it." Yeah. And then when we did it, everyone got off because like they hadn't had that they didn't know what to expect going into. There was like, how did we get into that? But they just didn't see it, like because obviously it's so seamless, isn't it?
Seamless, yeah.
So seamless that if it's your first experience, you have no idea how it does it. Yeah. Everyone's like, I don't even remember getting into the position. It just happened. Like we're just there. Like it's so good. It's so clever how they do it. And Laura hits the nail on the head. It is quite emotional. Flyers is like that little pre-start.
Honestly,
thing,
like there were rides where I teared up at that kind of pre-show.
Yeah,
well, pre-show that it does.
It's perfect. It's honestly so good. Like there's not many coasters I've come off and gone, that is just the perfect coaster to me. And for me it is like, yeah.
But yeah, so I said Stealth could be a contender for a Zero. That would
right, okay.
That
Nemesis for me is Zero.
Yeah, Nemesis.
Nash is my Zero.
No, we get it. Mate. No, to be fair,
he said, "All right."
Nash used to be so good, and it kind of. I still have really good rides on it. Like, don't get me wrong, I do. There's sometimes now and again, I'll get really good rides on it, but it's just tried to break my back way too many times.
No, it's just fucking hilarious. When you get a good
it's not hilarious when I feel like my head's like going down into my body like that.
Get over it. It's so good.
Oh no.
Just so fucking funny.
I still haven't had my ideal like ride scenario on it with like just 2 trains packed out with all of us.
Yeah.
Like riding it and with me having had like a few drinks as well.
Oh god. I
haven't had that.
Yeah. That's the thing. The best experience is it when you're passing each other and everyone's like high-fiving each other on the train. That is the best scenario. But no, I've had some really good rides on it. Even in the past, when it got the last retrack it had, I do think it has improved it.
Hold on, we had a well good ride on it on
we did.
Weekend. We sat on the front. We had a wicked ride.
That's what I mean. I get.
Time.
No, that's the weird thing about Nash is that I get some really good rides in it, and I come off and I go, that was well good, and then I'll go back on it like the next day or a week later or a month later, and I'm like, that is fucking horrible. Like, because what it is it's when it's at the bottom of. it's at the bottom of the hills when it slams. You know, when you
bottoms
slams
out.
you down.
Literally, that's what fucked up my back last time I rode it,
and it really fucking hurts. Like,
yeah,
but then
out.
there's other rides that have on it, and it's fine. It's not even rough. I don't find it rough.
To be fair, like a wheel seat is and like a not wheel seat is night and day. Like,
yeah, it is.
Me and Vic purposely did a back row because we thought it would be hilarious, and as much as we were crying with laughter, also all the way around we were just going, oh god, all the way around. But
has anyone got a paracetamol? That's the first thing someone says.
To me, it's just the emotion of the whole ride. It's just funny.
Yeah,
it's just funny.
Craig Toy, sometimes it's not who you're with, because I'm normally with the same people when I do it, and it's also it's sometimes shit and it's sometimes really good. Craig needs to get some of these things printed off and put on the wall, man. He's got some well good lines.
Will they just become the live, laugh, love ones? Sometimes it's who you're with.
Sometimes the Nash experience is the friends you made along the way.
Honestly, like I say, I have some really good times on that, but then like most of the time it's just like fucking just trying to kill me, not in a good way, not like a Taron way. But like I think with a zero coaster, it is just, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. If someone said to me, here is my zero coaster, I'll be like, fair enough. Okay.
I've got to decide between I think it's going to be Nemesis, Hulk, or Velocicoaster for my number 0 coaster, because they all represent such significant moments of, you know, what I love within just my theme park coaster enthusiasm. So it's between them. It's between them three, and I don't know how I'm going to decide that. So like, yeah.
Okay. So Luke, you already said your. Did you say you said your
Nemesis?
Nemesis. Yeah. Nemesis for me. Nemesis again. I feel like your 0 should be. It's normally what like got you into enthusiasm in a way, or just that's one special ride that you had on it. It's
just what holds the most sentimental value to you, I guess.
Yeah. And you know what? With what we did with John with Virtual Towers has a massive impact on that as well. Like when you guys were riding Wicker Man, we were talking to John Wardsley like in the hotel about everything we were doing. That's probably not common knowledge between a lot of people, but we were showing him the project, and he was like, it was blown away by it. It was like, you can't give this away for free, all this stuff. Like, it's amazing. Can't believe how real it looks. You need to do stuff with Alton Towers with this. Like, he just had so many nice things to say. And the fact that he recorded the tutorial to operate Nemesis in our game just brought everything back what Nemesis did for me as an enthusiast, and that's why it's my 0. It's there. It set me on the path that I'm on now, and I want to be here now on this podcast if I'd never ridden Nemesis. So
that's literally like, you know, when that's the same thing for me. Like, it was Nemesis was the first thing I went on that I was like, this is what a coaster can do, and then like a similar type of thing to you with Virtual Towers as well. It's like we were there,
of course,
with John Wardley, like taking him around and then
Imposter
filming him.
Syndrome, like nothing else.
Like, when it was just insane, and I was like, how? Yeah, it was just crazy. But yes, that was our top 10. This has been a very long episode. Probably the longest episode.
Thank you for sticking with us. 23 people.
Yeah, 23 people
sharing your.
I've had the best time. Like, I've been eating my crisps. I've had a little beer. It's been fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
that's what
our longest episodes are our best episodes. Like, as much as we tried to keep it like less than 2 hours, like when we've gone on for like nearly 3 hours, then we know we've gotten really into whatever we're talking about.
We got into it.
Thank you everyone for sharing yours, and also the strangeness that the chat got to at one point.
We appreciate it.
I still haven't looked through it,
guys. Do us a favor though. Like, if you're watching this and you haven't told us your top 5 or tell us your top 10 now in the comments. Let us know if you're listening. In the comments, let's get some comments. Let's keep the conversation going all weeks. Then we can pick up topics from conversations that happen throughout the week, and we can pick them up for episodes. So in the comments, get in there.
If you're still watching, give us a like.
Do that.
Like button. Also, yeah.
What a night.
Also, if you have anything you want us to talk about, go on Twitter, tweet us, put it on a comment, or email us at thechaindogs podcast@gmail.com, and then we've got a list of topics we want to cover. Also, trying to sort some guests out at the minute as well.
Yeah.
Shortly, there's loads of stuff to come. We're just about to hit the main season.
Yeah.
I already feel like we've had some of our best.
Oh, I'm at Towers opening now.
Oh yes,
I make it, but I'm making
see
it.
You.
I'm
I'll
back
see you there.
from Paris on the Thursday, and then I'm at Towers for opening, coming with Dave. So yeah, can't wait. Curse of Alton Manor, let's go.
Yeah. We're definitely going to have to come back to everyone's top 10s at the end of the year and see how they've changed.
Yes,
after the season.
The start of every
see how
the end
after
of the start.
Everyone's gone to everywhere that they're going. And
oh yeah, I mean,
I'm at 200 now, and we've calculated that I should be hitting 300. Me and Joe should both be hitting 300 this year.
Wow!
All the trips go to. This is all the trips we've actually got locked in. There's other trips trying to plan as well, but all the trips we've got locked in that are like paid to go to should be hitting 300. So it's going to change massively, I think. So yeah. So let's just check in on the chat. Awesome show tonight. Thank you. I love the Beast episode for those Blackpool drives. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. This is why we make these, for them big long trips. This is what I was saying before we went on. Before we went along, like this, just to shout out Jackie and Sam, Super Enthused, and Expression Theme Park. They've just released their first episode of their podcast. That they told, like Sam was telling me about this when I was in Florida with him. I'm so happy they've done it, because it's just like I could listen to them for hours. Like, honestly,
I can't wait to listen to that. That is on my first tomorrow at work.
What I do with podcasts is I save them all up for these big long drives to do when we go into parks and stuff, and then just listen to them all. So hopefully this is what this podcast can do for you guys.
I'm like 4 hours a day on a mower, sometimes 8 hours on a mower. Like, and I've got my wireless Bluetooth ear defenders, so podcast now is happening every day. So
I've got and also I wanted to do I might give this a mention next week when there's more people watching, but also Coaster Madness is on.
Oh my god! I wanted to shout this out.
Yeah,
as well.
That reaction was something. Wow.
We'll shout it out next week as well. But yeah, like if you haven't heard about it, go and do it. Get involved in it. Just because it's just like everyone. You don't even have to have ridden the coasters. That's the point. Like you just kind of it's all about like predicting. You can even vote on stuff that you think you'd prefer more. It's not about what you've ridden. And it's just like really good fun. And a fun fact here, I was the first, like, because Zarja won last year, and I was the first person to get a photo with the plaque outside Zarja, to the fact that Bryant didn't even know who runs it. Yeah. He didn't even know that it was up there until I posted
you were the one pointed it out.
Oh, and shit, I remember that.
Do you remember that?
There's a plaque.
Yeah. So it's even funnier this year, because everyone's like, well, whoever wins, they might get a plaque outside again. So yeah, it's just it's good fun. I'm trying to get hold on before we just go. I might just do it next week. But
what you can do as well is fill out a bracket of your predictions of like who, not necessarily your picks for each matchup, but who you think is going to win. And
here we go.
Like who's
this is what you can
think
fill out.
Everyone else is going to pick.
You just basically go through there, and you just go through it all, and you just come to who you think is gonna win. I'm calling it now. Gwazi's winning. It's just gonna. I think it is, because I've done it already, and I was just like, yeah, of course. Like, even though Gwazi is quite high for me, but I just think that I
think it's going to be Gwazi, Steel Vengeance, or Velocicoaster. I think it's one of those three that's going to take it.
I think Zarja won. Zarja won last year. Then it's going to be Gwazi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, brilliant. Thanks so much for
Brian
watching.
as well.
Yeah, shout out. He's killing it on YouTube at the minute. Putting
yeah,
out some good stuff. It's on there.
A lot of good content on there. Coaster 365. Go check.
Coaster 365. Yeah, such a good guy. All right. Thanks everyone. We'll see you next week. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.